Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. This is our real wow. This is The Morning Glow. And good morning, Charlie. Good morning, good to have you this morning. This is The Morning Glow where we have real talk, real conversation. You could be a part of the conversation. Just give us a call, 508 924 3521 508 924 3521. Good morning. What's that crazy? Good morning to you. Good morning. Good to have you. Definitely good to have you with us. We have real talk, real conversation right here on the morning glow, so you could definitely be a part of the conversation. Love to have your input. Have a different topic every day. We go all the time, so put your high waters on. Don't want to get your pants wet. Put your high waters on when you come over here because ain't no telling what we're gonna talk about or how deep we're gonna go. So make sure that you're ready to go deep with us. I know that you're well qualified to take the walk, to take the journey. So come on and join in and be a part of it. Again, the phone number is 508 924 3221 508 924 521. Give us a call. Love to have you. Now, I'm gonna ask a question. Um, does failure and I usually say, and people that know me real closely know, good morning, James. Good morning, James Gordon. Good to have you with us this morning. People that know me know that I don't deal with failure. That's something I don't deal with that often. I say you have a learning experience, you have victories, and you have learning experiences. There are no failures in life. Good morning, Silence. Good morning to you. Good morning, Michael. Good morning. Good to have you. I feel you don't have any. There are no losses in life. You either have victories or you have learning experiences. The lost thing, I don't get into the lost thing because what you do if you do something and if it don't work out in the way that you want it to work out, then you eat the meat and spit out the bone and go back and try. Eat the meat and spit out the bone. Bone ain't gonna do you no good. Eat the meat, spit out the bone. So I'm asking this question: Does failure mean? Does failure mean that you're moving in the wrong direction? Think about that for a second. Does failure mean that you are moving in the wrong direction? What do you say to that? Give us a call, 508 924 3521 508 924 3521. Good morning. I'm trying to get your name right. Man, Karsala. I'm butchering it. I apologize. And diluted. I think that's diluted. Good morning to each and every one of you. Good to have each and every one of you with us. Always an honor to have you. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, like I can complain, man. Welcome to a beautiful new day, bro.
Hey, look here. You're not able to see the screen, bro, but I got that time, boy. I got that time.
Hey, you beat me to it. I told was gonna tell you I can't see the screen, but I'm gonna ask you what kind of tie you got on today, man.
I got
Hey, it's fitting too. I know you had to have your good tie because guess who late again today?
no, but you know what? I was actually, man, I was up and ready at 6:30 this morning, but some things happened and it pushed me back. So this time I have a reason. It wasn't me. I was up and ready. As a matter of fact, I was up about 5:45 this morning.
You know it happens, man. We human, man. I get it. I get it. I wake up. I'm waking up later and later every day myself, man. For some reason, I guess it's because it's getting daylight a little later,
Yeah,
and this human clock that I got is adjusted to the somehow is adjusted to the daylight and the
exactly.
earth. I don't use an alarm clock, so I gotta go ahead and get me an alarm clock because I'm waking up later and later every day.
Man, you got one on your phone. Use that phone, brother.
Yeah, man. I don't like to use it, man. I'm so adjusted to my, what I'm saying, my body clock that, now I just got to go ahead and use the alarm clock so I can go ahead and start getting back up at 4:30.
Exactly, exactly. I'm asking a question this morning, Rico, and you've heard. I know you've probably said a couple of times, man. There's no such thing as losses. You either have victories or you have learning experiences. And I say, when it don't go in the way that you want it to go, eat the meat, spit out the bone, dust yourself off, get up and try again. Continue, keep continuing it because every story that I've heard of somebody doing something that was very victorious and that we put at a high regard because they did something that was incredible. If they tell you the story, or if you sit down and talk to them long enough, they'll tell you that they had maybe 100 or something non-victories. Let's say non-victories before they got to that one thing where they actually knocked it out the park. So sometimes people just get a little lucky, a little blessed, if you will, and they get it the first time. But not too often do that happen. A lot of times they're trying. You talk about Edison, whoever was the one that stole the light bulb. They say he discovered it, but the one that stole the light bulb, we know the real history. He didn't do that. He tried and tried and tried and tried and tried thousands of times, and it didn't work. Then he saw somebody else, Barrington, I think was his name, had the idea and the concept, and he stole it from him, and he put his name on it. You know how the story goes, brother. But I'm asking the question. See, a lot of times people don't like when I see because I don't say anything don't mean I don't know. I just sometimes I just don't say anything because keep the conversation going. But listen, does failure means, and we're talking about a failure, does failure mean that you're moving in the wrong direction or that you're doing something?
No.
What do you think failure means?
Failure means that you just had a fall.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to get back up. It's funny that you brought this up, man, because I swear before you came on and I called in, I was, having this thought to myself about, knowing how to build a stable building, a shelter, and how important shelter is. But if you don't know how to build, then you're probably going to have to teach yourself. And through trial and error, you'll find out how to build a stable building. But until then, it ain't going to be stable.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a few failures. And so I started relating that to learning how to crawl before you walk. I said, well, when a baby first learns how to stand up, it might fall before it actually gets control of its balance, learn how to get stable. Then once it gets stable, once it first start trying to take steps, because they've been looking at kids running around all day long, and they can't wait to get down and run just like the rest of them. But they have to find out that they just can't take off running. They got to take baby steps. And in the process of still falling, they're getting back up. Getting back up until they get their balance and learn how to walk with balance and stay stable. So, it's like, if you want to build, if you want to grow, if you want to be successful, you got to start with a stable foundation and learn how to crawl before you walk. But you're going to fall. You're going to fall here and there. Even when somebody teach you or show you, like you watching other people walk, you watching other people run. But when you tried it, you had to fall a little bit because it's still something that you got to figure out. The reason why you have to understand the reason why they are successful in doing what they're doing. You have to understand that. And so, I look at it that way, and it's crazy that you brought this up because I promise I was thinking about that same thing. I was thinking about the Black community and why we can't organize. And I'm like, well, we want a shelter, we want a building, we want a house, but we don't know what type of building we want. And then we don't know how to make a stable building. We just want to get to the bank. We don't know what type of shelter we want. So until we actually learn how to build, learn how to organize, learn how to grow properly, have a stable foundation, and then have the same goal for the same type of shelter or business or whatever we want to do, then it's going to be hard for us to get to this point.
Exactly.
But that has to be some bumps and bruises along the way. Because if you don't have the bumps and bruises, well, the only reason I say that there has to be some bumps and bruises because nothing is written to the point of where you will be guaranteed to have to deal with certain things. You have unexpected things that will come up, and you will have to adjust and evolve. You will have hurdles. You will have holes you got to jump over. Just like when you learn to walk and run, you're still going to have to avoid some things on the way of you walking along your path. And you might have to jump over them. You might have to run away from them. You might have to stoop below them. You still have to learn how to maneuver and evolve around whatever comes to you. So, man, I look at it like that, man. I look at it the same way. You have to take a few falls.
Exactly.
To understand how to get around it the next time that it comes up.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I've never to my life of living. I've been living for a few years here. I've never seen a baby come out and just start walking or running. I'm using it now. It just don't have. You use a bike. I taught my daughters how to ride a bike, and they didn't just jump on that bicycle, man, and start pedaling. And I got it. No, I had to coach them. Had to run behind them, walk behind them, and everything. Hold on to that seat until they get the pedaling. And when they get the pedaling, something like that, you still running behind them, and eventually you let that seat go, and you let them pedal some more. Then you say, baby, I think you got it. I think you got it. I think you got it. And then when you tell them that and they realize, man, they realize that they're doing it by themselves, man, they'll fall over. Bam.
Man, what you talking about, man? Hey, imagine doing that on a motorcycle.
Exactly. Like, oh, Lord, what you was doing it? Why? I don't know, Dad. I don't know. But the more they do it, the more they practice at it, the more they'll get it and they'll understand the whole concept. And then you realize, you look back, you say, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. How often, Rico, have we said that, man, that wasn't as hard as once you get it and you got it, you realize, man, that wasn't as hard as I thought it was.
You just had to find out what that little thing was.
Yeah.
You just had to find out how to balance this thing. You know, I talk all the time about we have to find balance. There's nothing wrong with wanting the money. There's nothing wrong with wanting to liking the indoors. There's nothing wrong with, you know, having fun. But you have to have some balance. You can't overdo it too much. If any good thing is bad. But at the same time, if you don't know how to control it, you're gonna always keep falling over and crashing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why, like, you know, when you think about it, you put them knee pads and them helmets on them children, they don't even understand how valuable those knee pads and that helmet is going to be until they get off on their own and they realize they got it on their own and they fall over. Because now they don't know how to stop.
Yeah, exactly.
See, you got to teach them how to. I wonder how the Wright brothers survived and made sure they could fly without killing themselves.
And you know,
how did they pad their landing?
And see, the thing about it, when you talk about them, you're talking about flying, man, at a height or elevation that if you don't do it right, man, you hit that ground the wrong way, it's over. It's a wrap. You're done.
Well, I imagine they had to start with just trying to attain some very low heights. That way, when they did fall and crash, they didn't kill themselves. Just maintaining a low flight path and then learning the science from that and building from there, you know, and still at the same time, you know, till this day, they still have test airplanes for landing just to try to save people still, you know, because it ain't foolproof. Once again, you know, in life, you still have obstacles and hurdles, so your job ain't never done. You still have to find out how to maneuver in this thing.
Exactly. But Rico, how often is it when you was growing up, or have you heard anybody say this? And you know, this is way out Wednesday, man. So we all over the place today. So you know how we do on Wednesdays. But how often is it that you either you said or you heard somebody say, "Man, I can't wait till I get grown so I can blase, or I can blase, get grown." And you're like, and Mr. Bill keep coming to visit you, and responsibilities come. You're like, "Oh man, I could maybe go back and go back to them days where I was living in mama house, man, or daddy house or whoever house it was. I wish I could go back to them days, man, because Mr. Bill ain't got no sense of humor."
And they say they can't wait to get grown so they can do what they want to do.
Exactly.
But then when they get grown, they realize they got to do what they got to do. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I think I want somebody else to do this for me. I wish I could go back to school.
Exactly.
They don't want to go to work no more. They want to go sit in somebody's classroom and pay attention and raise their hand and participate.
It's a shame. It's a trip how that happens, though, man. You know, and you know, I equate different things to life experiences, man. And a lot of times, Rico, you know, I love to fish. That's one thing I love to do. I love going out there and fishing, man. And a situation like this is like this. I talked to an old man one day, and I was out there fishing together, and you know, we was catching a few. And I said, man, I wish I could be out there in one of them boats. He looked at me. He said, why? I said, man, them guys in that boat, man, they catching some stuff, man. He said, listen. He said, watch the man in the boat. He said, wait, he out there in the middle, right? I said, yeah. He out there with a fish at. I said, okay. He said, watch the man in the boat. And I sit there and I watch as we go. And the strangest thing happened. We on the bank, want to throw way on out there past where the man in the boat is. He in the boat out there where we trying to throw to, and he's throwing back toward happen. He said, we want to fish, we want to throw it out there, way on out there with and fish out there because we think the fish out there. Now he out there where we desire to be on the boat, but he's throwing it back to the land. He said, people are never satisfied. Rico, what do you say to that, brother?
I mean, man, yeah. I mean, we want more. We want more. You know, and I know it sort of probably made people a little. I ain't gonna say, frustrated. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes you can bring up something too many times, and people be like, "Oh, there you go again."
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm gonna always bring up the mental side of human nature, the natural, psychological side of human nature, to want reward. You know, to want more. I mean, once your brain, that dopamine in your brain gets activated and makes you feel this thing called good, this emotion called good. Oh man, like sugar.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness. You want more of it. You want more of it. I mean, so it's like, how can you break that? How can you bring balance to that? You know, like I said a second ago, too much of a good thing, too much of anything can be a bad thing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And so, you can, I love food. I love ice cream. Man, I mean, it's funny, yesterday, within 1 hour span, 1 hour span, I had 4 different people tell me, and this was like right after we got the show yesterday, and you made this comment. I had 4 different people say, man, sugar. I wish I could kick this sugar habit.
Yep.
And I was just shaking my head because I was like, man, Raheem said that. Talking about different people. And, I was thinking to myself, I'm eating these donuts. I was eating some donuts and thinking about buying some more. They're so good. They taste better than Krispy Kreme. I can't believe it. I want some more. But I already had some in the refrigerator from the last dozen that I bought.
Yeah.
I still want to go get some more.
Yeah. That's that drive, man. That drive. Yeah, that drive. And it gets you, man. It's certain things, man. Maybe I'm getting a little older or whatever, man. But it's certain things that I used to eat when I was little. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I eat it now, Rico, and I said, man, this is the thing that's so doggone sweet. Why is it so sweet, man? Man, it's too sweet for me. It's too sweet. I tried one of them I guess it's Little Debbie, one of them rolls, is chocolate rolls, whatever it is. They got the cream in the middle, the little small. I can't remember. Man, I tried. They come in a little 2-pack. They come in packs of 2 inside a little plastic. And man, I said, I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out real quick. I started eating it, man. I couldn't eat number 1, and I had to fight to get through one of them, man. And they're not big. It was just so much sugar in it, man. I couldn't do it, man. We got Mr. Hicks with us this morning. I think he has some issues with his phone line over there. Mr. Hicks, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Mr. Hicks, you there? Mr. Hicks? Mr. Hicks, he's on a video with his man, but I think he's having some issues with his feed over there because he have his network is real weak. I'm looking at his network is very weak. Mr. Hicks, you might want to call in, brother. We'll work on it and after the show, after the broadcast, and make sure we're able to get it together. So tomorrow morning you'll be able to be on video with us. Call in right now, though, sir. Call in for us. But we go talk to me, brother. I know that sugar thing, man. Let's stay there for a minute. That sugar thing, man. It's amazing how I look at that. My mind works different sometimes. I look at sugar, man. And I kind of equate. I say, man, they talk about the crystal meth and all that stuff. It kind of almost looked the same a little bit.
Yeah, man. I swear I used to think the same thing, man. The first time I see you with some kind of like, man, that's like some dirty sugar crystals.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, man.
Yeah.
Terrible, man. I mean, it got that crystal look to it, man, especially when you magnify, like diamonds or whatever. So,
yeah.
And it's funny how both of those things have people addicted because people are addicted to diamonds too. Exactly. Man, there's a lot of things I'm addicted to, man. Listen. I don't know. We might not want to stay on this subject, man, because I see something the other day I ain't been able to get out my mind since then, man. I'm like, oh, Lord, have mercy.
Rico, I'm gonna tell you something, man. At this point, brother, knowing you like I do, I'm a little scared to ask what it was, man. I'm a little scared to ask, man. And then you laugh behind it.
Don't ask me what that was, man. Don't ask me what that was, man. We're going to go on here and do something else, man. Because, like I said, there's a lot of things we want more of, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Money. What about the balance on that end? I think I told you last week, I was like, man, if you ever deal find out what somebody's heart really is. Give them some access, some power, or some money.
Yeah.
Get them some control.
Mm-hmm.
And then they will show you who they really are when they got the power to distribute. You know what I'm saying? Or they have the authority to dictate the direction of how things go. When they got the money, and you know what they say, when the rabbit got the gun,
yes, sir.
Let them get the gun and see how they act.
Exactly. Let me say hello.
Just show you how somebody is, man.
Let me say hello to a few people, man. I missed a few of y'all. I definitely apologize. Marcus, Isadore, Divine. We got Marcelo. We got Mark. We got Harmada. I think that's Harmada. We got Elfrida. We have Marcus, another Marcus. We have Tony, and we have Galito. I think that's Galito. I missed a lot of y'all. I definitely apologize. But good morning to each and every one of you. And the phone lines are open. If you want to be a part of the conversation, this is Way Out Wednesday. Don't have a topic on Wednesday. We pretty much talk about whatever comes to our mind, and we talk about it in its entirety. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we do have a topic, but on Wednesdays it's called Way Out Wednesday. And if you listen long enough, you're gonna realize, yeah, them jokers go way out there. We really do. Mr. Hicks, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Mr. Hicks?
Hello. Oh, yes, sir. I was messing with the computer trying to get that.
Yeah, I saw that, man. So what we're gonna do after the broadcast, if it's okay with you, I'm gonna send you a link, and we're gonna work on getting it so your video and everything will be able to come on. So tomorrow morning you'll be on video with us. I saw you came in, man, but there was some issues with your feed in some kind of way, and so hopefully we'll be able to work through that after this broadcast today. And we'll have it so you can actually come on tomorrow, and you'll be able to see the tie that I'm gonna have on. I don't know. Did you see my tie this morning?
Yeah, I saw your tie.
God almighty.
I can see you, but I can't connect. That's sharp, bro.
Man, go boy. Now I done told Rico it's a sharp tie I got on this morning, man. It's a sharp tie here.
You know why he had to wear it again, man. You know why he had to wear it again.
No. This is a different one. We don't have a different one every day. This is a different one here. We look.
Well, you know why he had to wear another coat.
What? Oh, Rico, what Rico mute button that?
Rico.
Where Rico mute button that? Where is his mute button that? Let me give a mute button ready. But Mr. Hicks, let me ask you this. We talking this morning, and Rico and I talking, man, and going in depth about this thing. I say going in deep, Lord Jesus, going in depth about this thing. Does failure mean? Because I always say there's no failures. You always either have victories or you have learning experiences. But dealing with it from this aspect, does failure mean that you're moving in the wrong direction? You're doing something, you're not following what you're supposed to do. So is that what that means?
Yeah, it often means you need more knowledge. More experience.
Okay, I had to mute your other line because we're getting that feedback, the echo. So I muted your other line there, your other situation. But go ahead, brother. I still got your volume on the phone.
Yeah, and the computer's talking to me too.
Yeah.
Turn it off for the day.
Yeah. It's not gonna. We'll come back together with that tomorrow. Today we'll come back today and work on that part of it. Let's stay on the phone today so we don't have that feedback noise. But what do you think? Does failure mean you're moving in the wrong direction?
No, not necessarily. Failure is a part of the process of achievement. You know, you think about that guy, what's that, Edison, all the different filaments he had to try before he get the light bulb to go. I think it was a real large number, but he didn't give up and eventually found it. I've had situations in minor cases the same kind of way.
Now, Mr. Hicks. Now, Mr. Hicks, we talked about that this morning too. Now, you know, he stole that victory from Bannister. I can't remember the brother's name, but he stole that. But you know, we'll go with that though, because he stole that idea. He did like Colonel Sanders did when Colonel Sanders stole the idea because he wanted to get the recipe right. He couldn't get it right, and then his sister came along with it, and he stole it and put his name on it. There's been a lot of that going on throughout history. But go ahead, brother. For the sake of the conversation, go ahead.
Well, it's interesting on that point. A lot of research shows that when an idea, this talks about consciousness and this universal subconscious mind that we are connected to.
that when an idea comes, it pops up in a number of different places. A number of people have it. Some people move on and get the recognition for it. But I think the ideas are, it's like we think out of a mind that's a one mind, and we're trapped in illusion that we stand alone. But what they're saying is that every action, kind action or bad action, is a ripple that affects the total. And in that lies the ability of hope too, because when enough people tap into their connection with this one mind, call it supreme, call it God, any name you can put on it, but it's the source. The scripture says, anytime two people touch and agree, the presence of the Creator is there in the middle of it. So far as the ideas, I gotta try to turn my computer on.
Yeah, the computer's giving us the feedback.
Come back to me, bro.
Okay. We go
figure out this stuff.
Okay, we go talk to me, brother. And it's interesting what Mr. Hicks just said. He said, ideas given to a lot of people. It's just that the one that acts on it is the one that get the recognition for it. And to a large degree, I agree with that. But I still know that situation like with Colonel Sanders and a lot of other issues I could bring up, that I don't know if that idea was actually given to them or they just stole it from the people that they came in contact that didn't have the access or the money or whatever to bring that idea forward. So they took it and they ran with it and quote unquote made it their own. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I mean, it happened both ways. I mean, along at that same time, you had Tesla that was trying to achieve and accomplish the same thing. Because most of the times when a person comes up with an idea, that's because there's a need for it. Not just a desire, but a need for it. The energy and the logic of nature dictates that, okay, well, what's going on right now, once again, it's time to evolve. Because this is what the trend is, or this is what society or mankind is desiring. This is what's needed. That's why laws have to change. That's why laws always have to evolve. That's why you always have to keep voting. It's some things that you create will be manipulated and abused, and it can start being looked at as a failure, but it's not really a failure. Once again, it's a learning opportunity. It's an opportunity to make things better, to make things more perfect. Like you said, nobody ever comes out. Boy, I used to tell people the same thing, man. I ain't never seen a baby born and just jump out running doing a 40.
Yeah,
exactly. 4.0 40. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they got to crawl before they walk, man. And they're going to have some scratches on their little knees. Some babies ain't going to like to get out on the ground and feel the scratches on their knees because they ain't going to like the way the ground feels, but then they got to get used to it. They got to get comfortable. And like you said earlier, find out, well, it ain't that bad. This is it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we we got to go through failures in the process of trying to accomplish these ideas that come to mind. I mean, somebody thought of the idea that we needed to fly to get places faster. They saw birds traveling at a high rate of speed, and man, listen, birds get some to the point where they were doing mail by birds, right? What was it? I'm trying to think. What was that?
The carrier pigeons. It was
more efficient than the Pony Express, Air Express.
Like the carrier pigeons.
Using the pigeons, to deliver messages and stuff like that, man, because of how fast birds fly. Somebody came up with the concept to say, hey, man, you know what? We need to travel faster. We need to be able to go from this part of the country to this part of the country, or another part of the country, in less time. I'm tired of taking 6 and 7 and 8 days to get to California to see my relatives on this wagon.
Yep.
So, you had people continue to make progress. In the process of making that progress, there's a lot of failures, a lot of plane crashes, a lot of car crashes, a lot of blown up engines, a lot of, bad communication between telephone lines and trying to find out how to make telephone work and communicate. These people keep coming up with ideas based on the necessities or how what we already have can be improved. So, yeah, you might have some failures, but it's not a bad thing. It's a learning experience.
Exactly.
I'm trying to think, who has said it, but doesn't kill me makes me stronger. So you just got to make sure. The Tupac, one of them, it's a couple of rap probably said it. T.I., I think T.I. said it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. So I mean, you know, that's really very true. But the thing is as you're looking at your idea and you want to try to find out an experiment to see what's going on, you got to make sure you understand the purpose of surviving. And you don't want to electrocute yourself trying to come up with no electricity or no new form of energy. You got to find out and understand what you're working with so you don't harm yourself.
Exactly.
If you kill yourself, then it definitely ain't gonna be no learning experience. It might be for somebody else, but it'll be your last one.
You won't know nothing about it. Exactly.
It'll be over.
Look, history, right? Put that period at the end of that sentence. Put that period at the end of the sentence because that sentence is over. Ain't nothing coming after that. Toya with a T, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Oh no, day 3 with a tie. Lord have mercy.
Come on now. Whoo, look at Toya. How that tie look? How that tie look, girl?
Cut me. Watch out, y'all. Let me get my shades. Hold on now. Let me put my shades on because you're too sharp for TV, boy. Let's go.
Come on now. 3 days. Look, 3 days in a row. I don't know if we're gonna be 4, but 3 days in a row. I might go the whole week with time. I might do the whole doggone week one at a time. Might have to do it.
Pastor, do forever then since you're grown.
Lord Jesus. I ain't messing with you. But Toya, I'm asking a question, and you know I say it all the time, man. There's no such thing as failures. There's victories and learning experiences. But I'm asking a question this morning: does failure? If we're talking about failure, does failure mean that you're moving in the wrong direction? What do you say to that?
Well, I don't know about not no such thing as failure. I mean, that's why all the little kids get prizes now.
Wow.
Don't nobody want to admit failure. No, sometimes you fail, that means you don't do that no more. We make mistakes. Let me tell you something. Jim Crow was a failure. Slavery was a failure. You know what I mean?
Mr. Hicks, you got your thing turned up too loud, brother. Getting the echo back from it. But go ahead, Toya with the T.
Yeah, so some things, okay, we make mistakes, we learn from them, and we go again. But yeah, there are failures, there are busts. Some things just don't work. And that's where we need to get back to reality. Stop living in fantasy land, Peter Pan. Everything ain't gonna work. Everything ain't gonna win. Can't have no winners without no losers. So yes, some things can be a failure. But the thing we need to get with it, it's okay to fail. We're not perfect. It's absolutely all right.
And Toya, you just said something right there, and that's something that a lot of people can't accept and can't expect. It is certainly for their children, because when you say something about nobody want to give away trophies, they want to give away participation trophies and stuff like that. Just well, at least they participated, but they didn't win. They don't deserve it. They didn't win. Take them back to the drawing board. Let them get better at what they're doing, and then let them come back, and then maybe they could win. But right now, to give them something to reward them for losing, you're gonna give them a participation award because of trophy or whatever it is because they lost.
That's right. And and I think that's a problem again with today's kids, right? So you don't get the girl, you want to go shoot up the school because they talking about you. Now you want to go cause mass havoc and murder because and this strolls over into adulthood because you never taught your child no. Because you never taught them they can't win all the time. It's all right to be second, and sometimes it's okay to be last. The goal is to always be the best, but it's always going to be somebody out there that bigger, better, faster, smarter, prettier than you. Now here you go into adulthood not knowing how to cope with a loss. Hello? Are you still there? Of our Lord Jesus. I don't know if you're still there, Raheem. Talks about it in Leviticus 2, where the fragrance is like frankincense to God the Father. Every thought of our Lord Jesus, every word, every deed, every action emits a fragrance. Amen. In Leviticus
deal. Good deal. We got that back up. Okay, now that's back up and running. We got everybody back on the screen. Hopefully, we're gonna get Toya with a T back in here in a second. We'll get her back in here in a second as well. And now we got to get our phone lines back up. Get our phone lines back at that. Okay. I think we almost here. New version is available. All right. Now I think we got everybody back.
There are 3 participants of conference.
Okay.
Please announce yourself.
All right. We got kicked for a second, y'all. We're back now. Toya with a T. We got kicked off. So we got kicked off for a second, but back and up and running now. We missed a big part of what you're saying, but let's go back into what you were saying about the participation. Oh, I agree with you. I think that's not a good thing. And boy, if I ever lose, if you ever lose like that, just keep talking, sis. Go. You still on the screen. You still broadcasting. So
okay.
If I ever freeze up, just keep talking. Because everybody's still actually tunneled in on you at that particular time.
Okay, heard on that. But yeah, I think that's one of the issues. I think that's why we don't know how to cope as adults, because your mama never told you no. You're not going to get every girl. You're not going to win every game. It's always going to be somebody that jump faster, run higher, look smarter, be better, be cuter, be funner, be whatever than you. And you need to be able to eat that. Don't get mad and go on the street
Toy T. I got to call. I got to call you. Did you just say funner?
Yeah. I ain't got no sense. Yes, because we be special with each other. Yeah, and then we wanna pass on that, just like integrity. Yeah, I said that.
Okay. All right. I'll take that one.
Yeah, I said that. Okay. And then we gonna be sensitive when somebody say something to our child about it. You know what I'm saying? And this is a method that I feel like, when you become 40 and you don't get the girl, you still mad and want to go shoot up the whole concert because you can't cope with a loss. Your wife left you, your kids not listening, but you always been rewarded for nothing, right? Oh, why the kids don't want to work? Well, you gave them Jordans even though they didn't have to go to school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You did all the dishes for them. You ironed and washed all their clothes. You understand what I'm saying? And then when they're 30, you're telling them, oh, well, you need to go be a man. What? And then you wonder why he can't cope with the world when you took everything from him. Or you wonder why she can't cope with the world when you did everything for him. Oh, just wake up in the morning and you get a reward. That's a lie from the devil. It takes a lot more than that to be a man and a woman. And we are deceiving our children.
Yep.
We allow them to just get up and play. And oh, you didn't win? Well, here's a certification. No, it doesn't go like that, baby. Do you know why Michael Jordan has trophies, baby? Because he played to be the best. His goal was to be better than everybody. They didn't just give Mike no participation award, know. And I think, again, that's the standard and the value that we lost. Our child being a failure might be a reflection on us, and we can't take being wrong. We don't even want to listen to nobody tell us, hey, baby, that's wrong. You don't do that. You want to do what you want to do. Now, my kid can eat McDonald's at 6 or at 6 months. What? You ain't supposed to be feeding. I don't know, baby, no fast food at 6 months. And my baby, I do what I want to do. Yep, well, it's a consequence, and it ain't no participation award. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really believe that this new age method of trying to make everyone fit in is really throwing us off on what our real roles and what real work and standards are.
Watch this. This is where I went. So let me go there. Well, Toya, I hear what you're saying, but at least little Johnny, at least he came every practice. He was on time every practice. I mean, he showed up. I know he didn't never play, but can't you give him something for just showing up, for being here?
That's what you're gonna get. You better not be able to see my face right now. You and Johnny better go home, and you're gonna get a go home award. That's what you're gonna get, and little Johnny gonna get one too, because little Johnny didn't do nothing. That's not fair. Here we go with this slave mentality. Why do you get to get an award and you didn't do anything? That's not right. Here you got people out here who are groomed, who working, who humping, who busting to get in line or to get in order. And then somebody who does nothing get the same praises. That's the issue.
That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Tell us what you think about this. Should a person get a participation award? Now they participated. They came to the practice. They ain't did nothing. They ain't scored now basket. Ain't dribbled now ball. Ain't threw now pass. No tackle. Ain't did nothing. And now one of the sports. Now one of the sports. Ain't hit now baseball. Nothing. Ain't caught no ball. No fly ball. Ain't threw nobody out. Ain't ran no base. Ain't they? But yet still, they came to every practice. They was at every practice, and they was on time. They should, at least they should get a participation award. Rico, should they get a participation award? Talk to me.
Well, man, that's a hard thing to say. I mean, you think about it in team sports.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody might championship game, but those guys that made it to the championship made such an effort that they even got there need to be recognized.
Mm-hmm.
But see, it's gonna be some people on that championship team they ain't seen the field in 4, 5, or 6 years. They were just on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Now you might catch them 10 or 15 years down the road, popping their collar about their championship ring and the fact that they played. And they feel like they got a better opinion than everybody else because, hey, I played. Y'all didn't even play. But they didn't see the field. And they was garbage. They were just on the championship team. So, I mean, how do you work that out? You know what I'm saying? Do you just give the championship rings to the players that started or the ones that actually played in the game and exclude all the people that rolled the bench?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of them that on the bench might have been good second string players, but the first string players, it was just too tough a game for them to come, out and let them sub.
Let me ask you this, Rico.
People have to be recognized for their effort.
Let me ask you this though. What about the team? And you talk about the championship team, so that's good. You brought a different perspective on the thing, and I appreciate that. But what about the team that went 0-6? Should 0-6 ain't won nothing? Ain't won that game. 0-6. Should they get a participation award?
9 times out of 10, they won't.
No. In this society we live in, they want to give everybody a participation award. Everybody across the board get a participation award. And so if they went 0-6, I mean,
maybe their recognition for the effort is the paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we looking at the trophy, but they looking at the paycheck, so they don't care about the trophy. That's the reason why they 0-6. So I mean, should they get paid? I mean, did they come to work? I mean, it could go in so many different directions, But at the same time, I don't believe in people just getting rewarded for not making an effort. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the reason why I went in that direction, because some of the people on them championship teams, they don't make no effort.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably just the children of some prominent people that are alumni and donors of the school, to the school.
Mm-hmm.
So now, that happens a lot too. I think in high school sports, you see a lot of situations where parents have a lot of money, so their children end up on the field and they don't deserve to. They're starting at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I think that happened with Colin Kaepernick. So, you have this favoritism thing, just this entitlement thing. It's just so many different ways that could go. But yeah, as far as people taking trophies, I think if they didn't make an effort, they probably should be dismissed from whatever that situation is anyway, and just not allowed to be in that environment. But if you made an effort, if you're on a debate team or whatever, and you took the time to research and learn what you learned so you could be on that debate team and y'all lose the championship, you should still be recognized.
Mm-hmm. And see,
it's all about the effort to me.
I think, and I can agree with that. But my thing is, I also I like to deal with both sides of the coin, and I also know and I understand that, and before I do, let me do this. Let me read Paul. He put a couple of statements up there. Let me read what he said. He said, let me adjust my mic so I can see it. What's the harm of the trophy? Really, what is the harm? They know they didn't win. What if the kid has such a low self-esteem that they get depressed? There's a lot of depressed kids these days. And then he followed up by saying this right here. Good. Give everyone a reward. I agree with Rico. Why don't we appreciate people for at least Trying.
See, that goes back to what I was saying about the effort. You know, so you have to recognize people for the effort, because if you don't recognize people for the effort that they make, then you'll have broken children. You'll have broken people that tried and tried and tried, but all of a sudden people just overlooked it. You know, that some may try harder depending on their support system, depending on their willpower, their resilience to want to continue to win. But I mean, if they work, if they're trying to win in an environment where the deck is stacked against them, and they still making all this effort, like Benjamin Banneker, you know, some people will continue, and then they don't get recognized. I mean, we just spoke about somebody not being recognized, and now we have to fight to try to make sure we have, or we tell people the correct history of who's responsible for a lot of these things that we enjoy, and to make sure the right person is recognized for doing that. But the right person isn't recognized. Edison it's Edison power. When you go to New York, it's Edison power, not Banneker power.
Yeah, exactly. Let me we got a couple people on the phone. I want to touch each one of them as well. This is a lot. This is a lot. And like I say, I agree. I can agree with both sides. But if anybody asks me where was I leaning, I would tell them that I don't agree. Participation award, you know, it's a thought, it's a concept, but what are you really rewarding them for? I mean, they didn't, you know, you play the game because you want to win. And I understand, you know, you want, and like Paul said, public citizen said, self-esteem and stuff like this, all that could play a part in it. It really could. But my thing is, what are you rewarding them for, though? Just for showing up, just for being there, and it's a lot. Let me go to Navy. Navy, good morning. How you doing this morning? Charity, come to you next.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Question for you. How do you feel about participation award? Now, and we talk about on the children level right now. They come, they are part of a sport. Say it's basketball. Never do anything. Ain't scored now basket. Ain't defended nothing. Ain't really did nothing. End of the season, they went 0-6. Lost every game. Should they get a participation award? And what are you what are you rewarding them for?
That's a loaded question, because I feel like that I can pull and agree with everything that I've heard thus far, and even can agree to some point with the logic of, well, what am I rewarding you for? But I think that if we could change that perspective just a little bit and look at that as a teachable moment, because while I'll use myself as an example, why people put me on their basketball team, I don't know, other than the fact that my dad and my uncles were awesome basketball players. I sucked at basketball. I would be the first to admit that. Soccer and softball were my sports. I put forth, like, I was great at defense. But I think that if we use that as a teachable moment to, while I may not be the best player, and while you may not be the fastest runner, where are you contributing to this team? Are you just riding the bench, or are you going to go get water? Are you the spirit of the team? Like, I think that's where we have to try to pull out strength. Now, in life, will we get that same recognition? No. And I think that that's why we kind of have to change the perspective of how we communicate and how we teach winning and losing to our children. Because at the end of the day, when they go out here into this world, you don't get no, well, I don't know, some people will get participation points just for coming. Because, I mean, I know you said that we were just talking about the kids, but like from an adult perspective, I got somebody right now on my team that's getting the same check that I'm getting, but putting in a third of the work. So, of course, I feel some type of way about that. And yes, I have wrote me a nice little nasty, not a nasty email, but a professional email about it, because it needs to be addressed. It's not fair to me and my eyes and my other teammates that they put. So I think that we need to change the perspective a little bit of how we look at winning and losing, and just be honest with the kids, not to bruise their self-esteem, not to just be like, oh, well, you were just piss poor and, you know, just go sit down somewhere because you're not useful. How are you being used? Are your strengths being pulled out? You may not be great at this, but what are you good at?
Now, I'm not saying, everybody hear my heart when I'm not saying to beat the kids down and say you ain't did nothing, you ain't no good, you sorry. And I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying what are you rewarding and what's the foundation that you're laying in rewarding these children for doing nothing and not winning? What foundation are you laying with these children? Because later on in life they could go on. We talk about all these kids think they're privileged and think they have this or think they deserve different things like that. Are we setting the precedent by just rewarding them for not winning? Are we do we have a hand in that? Let me go to Charity. Charity, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. So I want to hear from Columbia, South Carolina. Well, you're right outside of Columbia, though. What do you think about this whole participation awards situation? How do you feel about that? Should a child get a participate? Ain't won nothing.
No. Because okay, so I feel like us as people, we lean too much on society to raise our kids, quote unquote, for us. Saying that, what I mean by that is if your child is on the team and they lose, they don't get no trophy, you're the parent. You know, son, do it again. You know, you try harder, you're going to practice more, you know, you know what I'm saying? To get his self-esteem up. It's not for, you know what I'm saying, the rest of the world to instill that into your child, you know what I'm saying? Because as kids, you know, I'm on the team, we didn't win, okay, boo. But why would you award them? And like you said, awarding them for what? For being on the team? Because your mama paid money for you to be on the team? You won't get a trophy for that? No, you didn't win. Winning ain't everything. Losing, it definitely sucks. So that's a lesson to strive harder, do more. You want that big trophy. You want that at the end. You know what I'm saying? There's an order for a reason. 1, 2, and 3. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't ignore that. But when it comes to the kids, like you say, they feelings being hurt and stuff, you try harder. I didn't lost before, you know what I'm saying? But I made sure next time, like, okay, now I know what I need to do because I want that trophy. I want the recognition that he got. This world is just too.
Come on.
I don't know.
This is way out Wednesday. You go way out today, so this is way out Wednesday. Talk to me. What this world is so what?
I said this world is just so, you know, you can't say this, don't do that, and freedom of speech over here.
Oh, you hurt their little feelings. Oh, you.
Yeah, you know, it's all about all this. You patting them, patting them on the back, and the whole time they're getting worse and worse. Even if that's word, worse and worse.
Yeah,
it's a South Carolina word. But
I was about to call you on that. I was about to call you on that. Say worse and worse. Okay, I was about to call you on that now. Okay, we make up all these words right here.
Hey, hold on. I didn't know. No, go ahead.
They just patty-caking these kids and just making them softer and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just watered down everything. So they ain't even gonna learn no real strategies of life. Like, they're just not. It's terrible.
And Paul said, Paul the citizen said this right here, and I'm gonna go to Joseph. We're gonna circle back around. I want to hear everybody's input on how he feels, and I'm assuming Paul's gonna call in a little bit with this as well. But he said we need more love and less cruelty in the world. That is real. He said we need more love and less cruelty in this world. Joseph, what do you say to that? Are we being cruel because we don't want to award the children for not winning? We want to give them a participation award. They didn't win anything. They went 0-6. They didn't win anything. Barely scored 2 points the whole season. Are we being cruel?
Well, I have to go with Brother Aristotle on this one. Now he's the one that said that, you know, being brave is not putting yourself in the thickest of the battle and getting killed. Is that you might have to run and live to fight for another day. So in other words, sometimes the answer is between the two extremes. I agree with both. Yeah, you can make somebody soft if you award them for doing nothing, but most situations have performance evaluation. So and there's a standard you need to reach for if you want to achieve that award. Now, doesn't mean you're a failure, but it just means that you're not up to par. Now, you want to be up to par. Okay, here's the standard right here. I like what the Bible says. It says in Proverbs, I think 12:24, it says, the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall pay tribute. So the one who works hard is going to be in charge. And the one who's lazy is going to serve the one that works hard and create things and, create a business or start a business. Then you'll be one with job applications and give me a job. Well, that's cool, but the standard is up there. So if you want to be on that level, then you need to work for it, But one sister said it could be a teachable moment. I agree with that. What is our structure? How are we incentivizing success? How do we encourage our young people to reach for these positions? Now, one sister said she wasn't good at basketball. So sometimes kids are trying to achieve something that ain't not in their DNA. It's not what they really want to do. I mean, now when I was a kid, you put me in music. Now that's my thing. Now, I did halfway decent in baseball, basketball, football, but I wasn't your man. I wasn't really the dude for the sport. That wasn't my thing. So, hey, got to find your niche, I guess.
There you go. So when we talk about giving a participation award, are you for or against that? How would your vote go, Joseph?
Well, I guess that would depend. Now, I don't like to reward laziness. If I see effort, I can recognize effort. So I reward that. But I don't reward slothfulness or mediocrity or just I don't careism. I don't deal with that.
Okay, that's good. Let me go to Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, what's on your heart, man? Participation awards. Should these children be presented at the end of the season? Ain't won nothing. Ain't really did a whole lot of nothing. Should we give them a participation award? Well, at least they participated. At least they came. At least they were there with practice. Yes, they did not win, but they were there.
Well, I definitely think it should be a matter of competition and winning. But it points to me at, I see the roots of it as being in a left wing sort of totalitarian creeping toward a situation where the emphasis is taken off the individual and focus on the group. Whereas in the Communist kind of thing, it's not about the person, the people, it's about the state. So there's no competition, there's no owning property, everybody is equally having nothing. So I'll give you an example. Back in the 70s, I was in one of those multi-level marketing things, and I was sponsored by my brother-in-law, and I was knocking him out the bat. I got the whole presentation down. I was getting people and I getting the interest, and I was growing. But my upline, who was my brother-in-law, and he was stifling it. He was stifling it. And when I talked, I said, look, I can't understand this, Rashid. The more I make, you get a cut off of mine, the more you make. I can't see the competition, not in this situation. I think when you take that element of competition out, and you get a society based on how the parents feel, how people feel, like in school, safe zones, and you triggered me because you talked about this, and I can't handle that. I see that whole push as a neoliberalism that goes back to Malcolm, the thing that destroyed us. We have competed all our lives from our struggles here. If we give up that ability to compete in a world that's trying to rule not just black folks but everybody, I think that when you feel a lot of what's happening in politics and now is emotion and feeling things. Feeling about the LBG2, feeling about you hurt my feelings and you said this here. A world based on feeling that's shifting our whole focus. It's a bad thing.
So you say no to the participation award?
Of course not. usually those kids, everybody's good at something. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of times parents try to make their child good at something to fulfill some of their kind of dreams and stuff. I want to be a football player. I am a football player. But when a person finds what their interest is, and you can't spark an interest. You can't say you should be an interest that's drawn from inside. People, when they're interested in something, that's when they focus on that thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But you just can't make a kid interested in a sport that he's not. But yeah, feelings got to get out of the way.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Competition is, and it's really think about it. It's really against the whole thing of economics.
Mm-hmm.
Is it capitalism? Does capitalism work, or is it going to be the other structures?
Mm-hmm.
And other structures are socialism and communism. That's the only things we got. Or either having yourself a dictator. Those are your choices.
Exactly. Man, and publicists just said a lot of amazing points that are hard to argue with. Yeah, what it is. And that's one of the reasons why I love this platform, because we're not gonna all agree on, we're gonna talk about different things, but we all gonna have different takes on different experiences or different whatever it is. And so we're gonna look at it different, we're gonna view it different, and we're gonna put the facts as we know them out there and let the chips fall where they may. Let me go, we got Toussaint. Let me ask you this question, brother. A little child plays sports, went 0-6. Basketball ain't really scored too many points. The team ain't really scored too many points. They lose games like 35-3 or something like that, man. They lose games like that. Should they get a participation award? At least they came to practice every practice. At least they went out there and they did it. They completed it. Toussaint, should they get a participation award? What do you say to that? Cassandra, coming to you next.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Radio. Remember? Radio.
Mm-hmm.
Gooding, what was his name? And Waterboy.
Mm-hmm.
Radio and Waterboy, the two movies.
Okay.
Somebody got to pass the water. Can't play too good, but he made the team.
Mm-hmm.
Out of kindness. There are some people that you have to encourage for another reason. Not because they're good in sports, but they need to be encouraged. So they're never accepted in another way.
Mm-hmm.
So the coach or a team member suggests, "Come on, coach, give him a chance."
Mm-hmm.
Or the parent, "My son has inferior complex and he needs something to help him out."
Mm-hmm.
And the boy can't shoot, or the boy can't run, or he got a peg leg, or he has a problem with people calling him stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So let him be on the team. And you get him and you put him on the starting line, he runs the wrong way.
Lord Jesus. Toussaint, you were doing so good, brother. You were doing so good, man. Toussaint, you were doing so good, brother. I mean, I was like, man, Toussaint on some serious stuff this morning. You were doing so good, brother.
So you still get the award.
Proof though.
So you give them award, right?
Toussaint, you were doing good, brother. Brother, you were doing so good, man. I tell you were doing good. I was proud of you, brother. I was proud of you. Then you gonna throw that last little part in there, man. What you do that for, man?
It's the truth.
What you do that for, Toussaint? Man, let me go. Man, I ain't fooling with you, man. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Because I'm trying to collect myself. That doggone Tucson something else. Do you think they should get do you think a participation award should be handed out for the child that went 0-6?
Yes,
Huh?
yes, yes, yes.
I'm shocked. I'm
Absolutely.
shocked. I thought you was gonna
It
say
doesn't
no.
matter. He's a part of the team. He's a part of the team. And what you let your kids hopefully play sports for is to learn about team, about working with others, about cooperating with others. So yeah, I believe every person on the team, I don't care, from the water boy to whoever, should receive a participation award. I mean, what would that look like if you didn't give all of the kids? It's about sportsmanship. It's about all of that. You know, yeah, he should get it. He should receive a participation award.
But the whole
What
team,
are you trying to teach them?
But the whole team went 0-6, didn't win a game.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not about so much. Well, for some coaches and people, it's about just the winning, but it's about teaching. What are you teaching the kids about working together and teamwork and those types of things? That's what it should be all about. You know, because somebody gonna win and somebody gonna lose. Did you just ignore people that got out there and fought even though they lost? So what? It's kids. You know, yeah, it's kids.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Okay. And like I said, that's one of the beauties of the Morning Glow. We all have our different perspectives and we look at things differently, and we had a conversation, we converse on it, and hopefully we get to a certain point. But sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I don't know if I'm ever gonna agree with participation awards. Toy, you want to see what you say to that?
Yep, not me, not this one. Sorry. No, baby, you didn't do good today, baby. But that's all right. We can keep on going back and we can get better at it. That's all right. You want to win? Auntie here to make sure you win, baby, but you didn't win that time. And it's okay. And it's okay. Now, if you want to go someplace and you want to feel, sorry for them. Now, if you're special education, special needs, I'm all for it. I'm all for special needs winning. Oh, yes, let's go with it. They all win. Yes, absolutely. But let's get real life. The NFL is made up of people who are not special needs. If you are an NFL football player and you have special needs, you're still going to be required to run faster, jump higher, be better than everybody on that team, regardless of how many participation awards you got. I need participation reparations because I've been here. I ain't did nothing, but I've been here. So can I get my participation reparations, please? And heck no, it's still a problem getting just what's owed to me. So why are we giving away things to people who did not earn them? Now, if you're gonna declare a winner and a loser, right? Because I believe, competition is very important. It lets you know what I'm saying, the difference between losing and winning, mistakes and doing it right. You know what I'm saying? And in order to be the best, we started off the conversation talking about having a fail. You know what I'm saying? And that means I lost. No, just give. Yeah. Okay, well, Serena is the best tennis players. Well, give all the tennis player trophies because they participated. Give the UGA football, they won the college bowl. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what I'm saying. So if you're gonna differentiate the difference in the win, you know what I'm saying. That's where we get that competitiveness from. You know what I'm saying? That's why we pay dollars to go watch. Listen, men will not get bothered on football Sunday. Will not be bothered, you men. Some of you men go more harder on a football game than church and God overall, period, point blank. And there's a lot of people on that. But you about to win. You not about the Cowboys winning the championship and the team they played against get a participation championship ring too. That's not what we're about when it comes to real life. And I believe when we play with our children and don't teach them real life and they get out there, that causes an issue and a ripple because it's like, why didn't you tell me? Why did you, you know what I'm saying? Allow me to believe that, you know what I'm saying, this world, everything, everybody wins, it's all cool, and not really have a serious conversation on how life really works. And you don't always win, baby. The only way you're going to win is that you must get up every day striving to be the best.
Yes.
And even if you do that, it will always be somebody better than you. So we don't settle for just a participation award. We don't settle for just, okay, well, I'm here and everyone else did push-ups, everyone else ran, everyone did chin-ups. And at the end of the game, even if we do lose, even if I do run backwards to the other team's goal, not only do I get a participation award, but I get the laughs and crowds, and I didn't do anything to deserve it again. That made me feel some kind of way, because when I go out to play, I go out to play hard. And yes, I do want to be rewarded. Yes, I do feel bad when people don't. But at the end of the day, even if somebody cheats, when you are the best, it's because you put in the energy to be that. And I don't think nobody should take that away from you. Participation, my foot. Winning number one, winning number two, and everybody else get a participation award. But other than that, always declare a winner. I'm sorry.
That's good. That's good. Let me go to Navy, then I'll circle back around to Rico. Navy, I'm going to ask you this question. What harm do you think it will cause in not giving them a participation award? Not giving them the falseness of, well, you did okay, baby. You participate. I mean, are we pampering them too much?
You said what was the harm? I'm sorry, because I was doing something else too, Ms. Raheen. You said what is the harm in giving them a participation award?
Are harming them if we elect not to give them a participation award? What could the harm be in that? Because you're not rewarding them for losing, for not doing well. You want them to do well, and so could we be curbing their drive, their motivation by giving them a reward even if they don't win?
I mean, again, that's another loaded question. But I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier. How are we using this? How are we using this as a teachable moment? I mean, like, I was fine. No, I wasn't fine, because I'm a sore loser. I don't like to lose. But I also had someone that used that as a teachable moment, because, like, for instance, we did get like certificates. We didn't get the trophy. We didn't get the medallions or what have you, like first, second, and third place. We literally got a certificate with our name on it. But I didn't want the certificate. I wanted to be number one.
Yeah.
So what I had to do was I had my uncles and my cousins be like, okay, well, if you want this, if you're going to be standing on that stage, this is what we got to do. This is what we got to change it. So is there harm in just giving a certificate? No, I don't think that there is, because I know if I want to move from the certificate to being number one, this is what I need to do. But somebody has to instill that in me. If I'm just losing and just getting if I'm still getting the same, if everybody is getting a gold medal, then what's the point? But just acknowledging that hey, you know what? That may not have been your best, but we're going to give you a little something because we want to encourage you to keep going. And some kids just don't have it in them. Like I said, I hated basketball, didn't like nothing about it. Softball and soccer were my sports, but it's just like, hey, I'm going to do the bare minimum just to get through this, because I don't know why y'all keep putting me out here on this court.
Exactly. Rico, talk to me, brother.
It's sort of go back to what I was saying earlier about the balance, and the structure. You have first, second, and third place trophies for teams and individuals. And even in Wimbledon and the U.S. Open, the second place person gets something. Get a little small version, a little small trophy. But the thing is that you do have to think about the effort. You can't ignore the effort. If we just said, well, to the winners go the spoils, and to all the losers, just try better. Ignore your effort that you made. I don't think we want to put that out there like that. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have a person that's just being completely lazy or disruptive, they're destroying the chemistry, whether it's with a team or just, whatever atmosphere it is. If they are being non-compliant, not a team player, you're probably going to kick them off. You ain't going to even give them a certificate of participation. But then you have those that are lazy. They just don't want to try hard. They just want to say that they was on the team. Well, their reward is going to be the fact that they was able to go to the games, watch them, and get a jersey at the end of the season that they played in or that they wore on the sideline. And they might hang their hat on the fact that I played, even though they were sorry. That's the level of, but they won't get an MVP. They might get a championship ring if that team won a championship. They still just gonna have that jersey and that certificate of participation saying that you was on the team. I think everybody knows what that is. But now you have other awards for people that made it to recognize them. Most team spirit, most effort, biggest supporter. I mean, you have different levels of rewarding people and recognizing people for the efforts that they made. Maybe they weren't the best players, but maybe they were the best supporters on the team, man. Maybe they kept everybody's spirit up when they was down. Maybe they were the ones that were able to identify what was going on the field and relay it to somebody so it could help them do better. Being that enthusiastic, bringing that energy to the locker room. You know, if you ever heard people say, well, hey, man, here's a good locker room person. You done as Haslam, making millions of dollars with the Heat, and ain't been on the floor and dribbled a ball in probably 6 or 7 seasons. But they keep him around and pay him good money. They recognize and reward him for the energy that he brings to that locker room and the stability. So, I mean, you know, and he ain't worth 2 cents now. He old. And they still paying him. He's still putting on the uniform, but ain't touching the floor. He was actually about to whoop one of the players last year for disrespecting the coach. I'll whoop you, boy.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a value, and then there's a recognition that is deserved when a person makes an effort or makes a contribution to something good. Now, should you reward people for being destructive? I mean, like, listen, man, we black people. We talk all the time about, we invented everything. We built this country. You know who invented the traffic light? You know who invented this? You know who invented the water gun? You know we did all this and that, and we want to be recognized for it. We should be the last one saying that people shouldn't be recognized because they couldn't win or they didn't win, because Benjamin Banneker didn't win. There's a lot of people didn't win. They ain't getting recognized for what we ain't winning. We ain't getting recognized for what we really contribute to America. But since we ain't winning and since we're not being recognized and we're on the losing end of it, knowing that there were conditions created that made sure that we couldn't win or we won't win, should we just say, well, you know what? Let's not recognize those great people. Let's not go back and research and find all these awesome people that contributed to these inventions. Let's forget about them and just remember the winners.
Good deal. Got to keep it moving. Let me keep this thing moving. The phone lines are open. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Charity, what's on your heart, sis? Cassandra, you next.
No, I'm still sticking to it. Like I said, no, you shouldn't. You know, like I said, what is a winner if everybody gonna get the same pigment? I mean, it just doesn't really make any sense. Yeah, no, I'm still gonna stick to it.
Okay.
It makes sense to me. It just makes sense, you know. Like that's one reason I like college football over pro, because pro, they still gonna get a check, whether they touch the field or not, whether they on the sideline with crutches and they foot in the cast or not, they still gonna get a check. Them guys in college, they trying to get, so they playing a little harder. You know what I'm saying? Because they're trying, because they want to be winners. On the NFL, you know, it is what it is. Now, I think one woman, I think she kind of, I don't know, because it's like, I'm not saying you got 10 people on the team and 5 scores, so give these 5 a trophy. I'm not saying that. I'm saying as a whole team. I'm speaking collectively as a team. This team won. This team gets this. I'm not saying break it down and say, well, he scored 3 points and he scored. I'm not saying break it down like that. I'm saying as a team collectively.
And as a team, if they go 0-6, scored 3 or 4 points a game, and everybody is scoring 25, 30 points at their level, they should not. You're saying they should not get up. That team should not get a participation award.
I mean, if they get, well, like say whoever's over the organization, AAU or whoever they is, they're going to award the winners. Now, if the coach or in the parents of that team that didn't, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. If they want to do something, that's fine. That's them. That's on another end. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I don't think they should be, by the organization that's having it shouldn't reward them as the winners because they weren't winners.
Mhm.
For participation, if their parents want to get together and say, you know what, the guys did good this year, they didn't win, they was owing them or whatever it was. And so, but us as parents, let's go get together and get them all some little something to stick on their shirts or whatever they want to do. That's fine.
Mhm.
But they got to know that they were not the winners.
Buy them some cupcakes and send them home. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Cassandra?
Yeah, maybe I'm misunderstanding because I'm hearing participation
Mm-hmm.
award, and then I'm hearing winning and some other stuff. They're not the same thing, and especially if you work with kids, young kids, that's not the same thing. A participation award said that you participated
Yes.
in that particular sport.
Yes.
That's for that season.
Yeah.
That's you were there. You were at the practices. You may not have gotten to play, but you were on the bench. You participated. You were there.
Mhm.
That's what a participation award is.
Mhm.
If you're talking just about, people just winning, the whole team winning every game or winning every other game or whatever, that's something totally different.
Mhm.
But participation, can we just distinguish that participation means that child was there?
Yes. Yes.
That they
Yes.
they came to practice.
Mhm.
That's what participation is. So why would you not give every child that participated on that particular team an award? I don't. It just doesn't make sense to me.
And the way I'm asking is, are we making them feel as though are we enabling them to expect something just because of the fact that they came and they did not win, did not do well at all? Are we assisting them in the expectation to always receive something, even if you don't do your best or you don't win? Should they assume that they still gonna get something? Should they assume that
That's not the same thing. That's not what I'm hearing.
Mhm.
Participation, the child came, they were at the games, they were in uniform, they were at rehearsals, at practice. That's what participation is.
Mhm.
Now, if you're talking about, best overall, whatever, most valuable player, then that's a whole different thing. But if a child participates on the team, why would we say that they should not receive a participation award?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and you're certainly not off base with what you're saying, and it makes sense what you're saying. But my thing is, I don't agree with that whole. Yeah, and I could be wrong. If phone lines are open, anybody want to talk about it? Give us a call. Tell us your take on it. 508-924-3521. Are we enabling them though? My question is, are we enabling them? Are we making them feel entitled, if you will, by giving them a participation? Well, just because you participate, you play the sport to win. I understand what you're saying, Cassandra. That makes perfectly good sense. Participated, you came, you were there at every practice, you was on time, blah, 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 blah. All that's good, but is that enough to reward them? Because, obviously you go there to play, and you go there so that you can win. And so
Raheem, is rewarding and recognizing the same thing? It's like you leaving it so wide open to where it
that's me. That's what I think.
We're not saying rewarding losers. We're saying recognizing that they participated in this sport or on this team this year.
But my thing is this. Right here.
Recognizing them on a team poster, you might be recognizing them with a jersey or an ad. You still recognizing, hey, my child played. He might be a bench warmer, but hey, people buy an ad. It's recognizing and recognition and reward are two different things.
Well, see, my thing is what the standpoint that I'm coming from is this right here. If the way I see it, the way I would, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. Being totally transparent, we had a Little Miss Queen beauty pageant in Columbia, South Carolina. We did that for quite a few years, And I didn't agree. The girls that did not win, we had certain awards, had this congeniality and all the different things that girls could win in the beauty pageant. I didn't agree with doing a participation award. My wife, being an educator, she said, "Well, we should give them all a participation award because they participated, they came, blah, 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 blah." Even then, I didn't agree with that. But I said, okay, if that's what you want to do, go ahead. I don't agree with it, but go ahead and do it. But so everybody got a participation award. They didn't win. They did not win. So my thing was, let them come back, try again. We're not going to get rid. We're not going to. If they did not win, this whole competition is for the winner, and you have different winners in different categories. You have a Miss Congeniality. You have a like I said, each person could win something. You didn't have to win the crown. You could win something, and so those are the things that you win. But a participation award, you came because you wanted to be there. You came because you wanted to participate. You came because you wanted to get the crown. You didn't do that. Come back next year, try again. Go ahead.
So I said we all agree. That you don't want to award or reward them, but you want to recognize them, because without the participants, your event wouldn't be a success.
But my thing
so
is,
you want to everybody recognize the participants for participating, but they might not win.
Do you give them a reward though? My question.
That's your appreciation to them for even coming out and participating and making what you're trying to do a success.
But my
you don't have to reward them or award them. You give out different awards, and other people go for those secondary awards.
Okay, thank you for coming. I definitely appreciate you participating. Thank you for your contribution in this particular event. Unfortunately, you did not win this time. So if you want to try again, you can certainly come back and try again next year. But to go that extra step and to give them something, to give them a reward or award or something like that, that's the part I don't agree with. I would, acknowledge each and every one of y'all. Thank you, y'all. All y'all did a fantastic job. Say that on stage. You all, participated, and thank you for your participation. But to actually give them a physical, to give them
I say we all agree with that. We say recognize them, but not reward.
But and that's my point. But my thing is to actually give them a physical participation award. That's the part where I have a problem with, because now they're gonna walk away thinking that they had a smidgen of some kind of a victory in that, and they did not. They did not. Let me go. Go ahead, Tucson. Lord, I don't know what I'm about to get, but go ahead, Tucson.
Okay, I'm gonna try, but I'm looking at this. I can't help but visualize this beauty pageant.
And let me say this, and I could be totally wrong in my thoughts. So anybody, if y'all feel differently, certainly let me know. Tell me what you think. But go ahead, Tucson.
Give me a minute, Naheem. I'm gonna try to fix this thing up in my imagination, and that's hard to do. But I'm gonna try. You got this beauty pageant, and all of these beautiful women. Boy, I tell you, you got your swimsuit, and you got your intelligence, and you got your, intellectual, and you got all the kinds. You got the poems, and all of a sudden, you got cockeyed, buck teeth, no leg, knock-kneed salad coming up.
Tucson.
She's participating.
Lord.
You gotta in. Let me go out, God. I'm trying. I'm trying. I just can't see. I sent you a video.
I saw it, man. I saw it.
They was in a race. These kids were in a race. And the gun goes off, and one runs backwards, one runs sideways to the left, and the other one runs sideways. And they're all over the place, and nobody's heading towards the finish line. But you know what it is right here? Special Olympics. They created for kids like we talking about. They created Special Olympics out of compassion for people. I joke and clown, but I'm really a serious guy. I just got my way of being serious. Everybody different. Out of compassion, they created a Olympics for people that just can't get it, that just need some encouragement. They participating, but they're not Kobe Bryant or Shaquille O'Neal, or even Rodney. They don't make it there. But along the way, you know, they wind up, and I'm gonna have to go there. They licked, they licked the window.
Tucson, you know where it's at, don't you, Tucson? You know where the corner at, don't you? Go ahead, go.
Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. No, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, like, some people, I mean, I had a guy, they had this guy on the track team, and I was fairly well. I was fairly decent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all like to reflect on how good we were in high school and college.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so this is my opportunity to shine.
Come on.
I had this guy named, and we would call him Box, because his shoes didn't fit.
Mm-hmm.
And he you can hear him up and down the track in the 2 mile. Never did win. Never did.
Mm-hmm.
But he made the team. For some reason, the coach saw his mentality, and had to let him be a participant.
Mm-hmm.
He never won, not one race. He almost came in second to the last one time.
Mm. And that was a victory.
You heard what I said?
And that was a victory.
For him,
mm-hmm.
You heard what I said, though?
Yeah, second to the last. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Came in second to the last one time. And at the end of him coming to the finish, the whole crowd cheered him on.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least he finished the race.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'm just saying.
Should he get a participation award on Tucson?
Sure. Because he didn't quit.
Okay.
See, there are some people that be on the team, they don't even try. They don't come to practice. They are a hindrance, and they get kicked off the team because of their attitude stinks.
Mm-hmm.
They're good players, but they think too much of themselves, and they're a hindrance to the team.
Mm-hmm.
So you put them off. You don't give them a participation reward. You put them off the team because they're violent.
Mm-hmm.
They act up. Mm-hmm. They got a weapon in their book sack. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard you. Good.
I'm just saying.
Stay right there, Tucson. Let me keep this thing going. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem in the Morning Glow fan.
Brother, forgot my doggone name. Lord Jesus, boy, this. Hey, Leonard, let me ask you, participation award, man. How do you feel about that, man? Should a person get a participation award? Didn't win, didn't really do anything. Should they be rewarded for that just because of the fact that they participated?
Well, you just said it. It's a participation award.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's for participation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why would you be against giving somebody a participation award? I have no idea. But
I tell you why. Because I don't want to give them a false sense of reality. Yes, you participated. Yes, you came to all the practices, and we appreciate the fact that you did. But we're not going to give you a physical. We'll say thank you, but we're not going to give you a physical reward because we don't want to enable you or make you think that you're entitled to have something moving forward.
Well, the award is for participating. That's why you get it. You don't get it for scoring the most points. You don't get it for winning the game. You get it for participating,
mm-hmm.
especially dealing with youth. Sports is used as a motivational tool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many people you think are going to play with you and your team if you nasty to them like that, or if you treat them like that?
I don't think that's being nasty. I think that's really giving them, to me, from the way I see it, you're actually trying to motivate them and pick them up and make them want to do better next year. So, like Toya said, when they come back next year, they'll try harder because now they know we have to do certain things.
That really, you would have to really go back and really check out that type of behavior theory that you're trying to put up there.
Right.
But that's really not a motivation factor
mm-hmm.
for most kids. And you're trying to encourage participation in youth sports,
mm-hmm.
not necessarily winning.
Mm-hmm.
It's for participation, teamwork, and teaching children to work together to accomplish a goal. I remember playing football, and let me tell you, it takes 11 guys to play. If you show up with 10 and that one guy don't show up, you forfeit the game. So that lets you know everybody is needed. It's not, you give away like I think I heard Miss Cassandra say MVP awards, maybe most free throws. You can jazz it up how you want, but think about the investment and the commitment of these young people to play these sports, to be there on time, to go to practice and go to school and do these things. It's a part of their development to teach them something more than just winning. That's usually the theory behind and the motivation behind youth and recreation and sports and things like
that. Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna say that is wrong, and all that is good, all that's real good. But my right here, I still stand on the fact that I'm not gonna give a participation award solely because of the fact that you put. I will say thank you. I will show my appreciation in other ways. I will.
What if you always lose?
Then you're never gonna win.
Right, but if you're always losing, do you stop playing? Period.
No, and that's my point. That's my motivation. That's the point of my motivation. You never
what
quit.
Usually will happen. What usually will happen is that parents don't want their children to be on your team because of your attitude. And so they move their child to another team.
Well, but the parents that know that they want their children to win and know I have the attitude that I'm going to do everything I can do to ensure that their children at least be in an arena to win, they gonna want to have their kids on my team because they know I got the winning attitude.
Well, and I'm not. LeBron can't pay by itself.
And I'm not gonna have that second place mentality. I don't want to be second. I don't want my team to be second.
Coaching kids to be second, but even the Olympics got a gold, a silver, and a bronze.
I understand that, but my thing is this right here. I want the gold every time, and I want to make sure that I push the people that's on my team to get the gold. To get the gold every time.
That's really indicative of a issue.
It could be
all or nothing.
Okay,
all or nothing, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, and so my thing is this right here. I don't know anybody, and I listening to the conversation I heard with Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and all the people the society say are winners. They never settle for second, so why should you?
But they came in sometimes second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Didn't even show up.
It wasn't because of a lack of effort though. It was never because of a lack of effort.
How can you guarantee a win? How?
You can't, and I can't, and I never will say I can. Right. But what I can say is I want to make sure that everybody put the effort together to win, put the effort out there to win and to do their very best. My thing is
that's what practice is for.
That's why we're gonna have practice and we're gonna do the things that we need to do.
But like I said before, if you're gonna give a participation award, the criteria is participation, not winning.
Okay. Well, it could be very well could be that. Let me see who I got. A few people just came in. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Interesting conversation.
Hey, this is Way Out Wednesday, brother. I'm being the question asker today, though. I have to be the question asker, and so that's what I have to do in order to keep. But anyway, go ahead. What's
bringing up Michael Jordan, right? It's quite interesting in terms of seeing him kind of get upset because people don't mention Scotty.
You say he get upset because people don't mention Scotty?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never seen that. I ain't never seen that, but okay.
I mean, you probably find the video again. He said he wouldn't have won if he said he wouldn't have won without him. But he's the one that got the limelight.
Okay.
So he uses his voice to say how good he was, how good of a player he was. So, so to me, it depends. And it's age group oriented, in my opinion. Because, especially in kids' sports, and if you've been around it a lot, you probably know how many parents out there are very toxic when it comes to kids' sports. So, I mean, if this is 8, 9, 10-year-olds that are out there, giving their all, learning to work together, learning what teamwork is, and all the things involved in teamwork and working together, why would you not?
Would you want them to do their very best? Would you want them to win, Badger?
Winning is one thing,
Okay.
and it's also learning how to lose, because there's always someone better, always out there.
My coach, when I used to wrestle, he had this saying, and he said, if you're gonna be on this team, if you're gonna be on this team, and we didn't have a full team. We had to forfeit several weight classes because my coach would not have anybody just put them out there on that mat just because of the fact they want to be on the team. He said, if you're gonna be on this team, I'm gonna make sure and ensure that you all give me your absolute best every time you come to practice, every time you run, every time whatever we do. I want to make sure that you're putting your all into it. He said, if you do not, then maybe this is not the team for you.
Okay, so when you gave your best and you didn't win, what happened?
If I could be funny for a second, there's not a whole lot of times I did not win in wrestling, brother.
Well, when you didn't, what happened?
What you do, you go back and you reassert yourself and you find out what you did wrong. Like I said earlier, eat the meat, spit out the bone, and go back in and do it again. But as far as wrestling, that wasn't a good example, man, because I didn't lose too many.
Well, I guess in my perspective, it's a mental thing, because when you have certain ideas or ideologies, like Tucson brought up a lot of amazing points, Cassandra, Rico, Leonard, and to me, I honestly have seen where that participation award was just as important to that child as winning was.
I can see that.
Because, so sometimes an acknowledgement that you are doing your best goes a long way. So if it's, I forgot what they were called when I was in school. I guess when doing the running, and it was sort of like a mini Olympics that schools held or something like that. I don't remember what it was actually called. That was a long time ago.
30 seconds, match.
And there was always just first, second, or third. And then there would be a ribbon saying, thank you for being there and things like that. And depending on what your parents said or the teacher said is what made it different. Because some parents or some people would go, oh, so you were just there.
Okay. Okay. Let's keep this thing moving. Let me go to Toya with a T. Toya, what's on your heart, sis?
Well, Raheem, I think what we're experiencing now is the part of team building, because everybody does have a valid point, right? Even if everything we're saying is values that the NFL operate on, the people bet money on the values that you and I are talking about, right? We gamble on the fact that somebody's going to win by a certain amount of time, points by a certain amount of time, and all of this, that, the third. You know what I'm saying? We don't get participation. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that what we're saying are not true. It just doesn't apply when it comes to building a real team and when it comes to grooming kids. So I'm not going to say that that anybody on here is wrong, because these are still truths of a game. You understand what I'm saying? So when it comes to building a team, especially like Badger just mentioned, age appropriate, because parents don't know how to take or won't accept a loss. That is why we include people in participation. You know what I'm saying? Because life is hard. You know what I'm saying? Life is rough outside whatever team they're trying to get focused on. And that being a part of something can make or break or save their lives. So for that, because we want to be great team builders and great leaders, we want to recognize everyone for putting in, you know what I'm saying, their time and effort. But there's a life outside of teams where maybe people want to be in a team and they can't. Then they don't get awards. You know what I'm saying? So there's different values, but just focusing on the team, we do it because we're team building. You know what I'm saying? We want everybody to feel included. And as we listen to everybody else, we hear, and what they're saying is right. You know what I'm saying? You should feel like that. You should, I came here, I spent my time, I spent my money. You know what I'm saying? So of course, when it comes to building teams that, let's just say before the age of 16, that's the rules we live by. But when we get to high school and college, do we still operate on them same values? When we get to, you know what I'm saying, the NFL league, we don't operate on those same values. We operate on a system of win or lose, and there's no thank you for your participation in between.
Exactly. Mr. Hicks, talk to me, sir.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm busting. I see your point, Raheem. I think the matter is changing standards. And the children will be the leaders of the future.
Exactly.
So you cultivate that. I wrestled in high school, and I got involved with martial arts real early. And I remember when all the dojos was popping up in Newark, and all these black belts was developing, right? And it's almost like they were paying for the black belts. In combat, like in war, you want the man next to you that you know he's qualified, that he made a quota.
Yeah.
The standard wasn't lower for him to be in that battlefield with you, and you could trust on him. I think the thing of changing standards is corrupting the children in the future. It's a competitive world we live in. That's just a fact.
Yeah, exactly.
And you gotta compete.
Absolutely. And that's the thing right there, man. I don't want to. If they're in my company, I'm supposed to be coaching them or whatever. I don't want to send them out there with the second place mentality. You know, truth of the matter, you're not gonna always win. That's just what it is. I didn't lose too many in wrestling, but I did lose some. But my thing is, you know, I'm not gonna accept that and say, okay, I guarantee you, if somebody beat me one time, next time I saw him on that mat, you taking the loss.
Yeah.
I'm not taking the loss. I'm not taking the loss. I'm not taking the loss the second time. It's just not gonna happen that way. You're not gonna beat me twice. Yeah. You're not gonna beat me twice. I don't care what I got to do. You're not gonna be. If I got to work hard or whatever, got to reevaluate. You know what? Because the coach, you know, this is what happened. This blah blah. Because sometimes we out there in the middle of it, you can't see everything. But that's what the coach do. He sit there and he watch and he can see what's going on. He said, "This is what happened right here. This is what they did in this situation right here. Okay, now I got to curve what when I guarantee I can promise you $100 to a half-bitten donut. That if somebody beat me one time, they're not gonna beat me the second time. Am I great? Absolutely not. But I'm not gonna take that second fiddle, man. I'm not gonna take that. I'm not gonna you're not gonna beat me twice. I'm not gonna let you beat me twice. Let me go ahead.
And that's the attitude that's been over into all your life. That's culture early.
Yes, sir.
It's just a thing of wanting to win. You gotta win.
Yeah. You're not gonna...
in war, you want to stay alive. You want to be the one that's still alive.
Exactly. Paul, talk to me, sir. What's on your heart?
Good morning. Like the thing about the awards, I think some people were talking about school awards and some people were talking about sports awards. So I'll just mention that, you know, most schools, like my school, they give academic awards every month. You know, you did really great in math, or you did, you know, just overall who's the best student. And we also give effort awards. So, you know, it's not participation. But, you know, I think looking for effort is the key. You know, we want to encourage everyone to just do the best they can, and maybe different aspects of life, academics or athletics or whatever. So the participation award thing, I don't have a problem with that necessarily. I see why you guys are pushing back against it, because you think it's going to build a soft mentality or a loser mentality and all this kind of stuff. It's possible, but I think, you know, we can talk about that with kids. And then my other thing was like, sports. Like I didn't do sports growing up, and I think it was really to my detriment. Because, I did sports as an adult. Like I got into martial arts as an adult, and I was competing and, jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff like that. And I would tournaments and I'd see little kids, they would lose and they'd start crying. And I'd go to MMA fights and I saw some of my friends, MMA fighters, cry, grown men crying after losing because they put so much time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears into this, thing. So I think sports can be really great, but I think often we put too much on it. We think that everything is riding on this moment. And, I lost this moment, I'm a loser now. And, it's like we go too far. We go too far with sports. That's how I feel. I think, like I said, I think you can learn a lot of lessons from sports. But sometimes you got the wrong coach. Like, I don't know, that movie, Karate Kid? Remember the Cobra Kai? Remember him? Like his whole thing was to win at all costs, like kill, no mercy. And it's like, what kind of lesson is that?
Wow. Okay.
So you got to balance it.
Absolutely. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Thank you, Paul. That's my key word. I've been saying it since we came on this morning. Man, we got to find a balance, man. I mean, and it's sort of frustrating listening to this conversation as we actually mix and mash these two different contexts together of reward and recognition. Now, if you want to put the name award or reward on participation, then cool, you can do that. But really and truly, you still have to recognize, you know what? I heard a man say one time, Senator John McCain is not a hero. He's a loser. He's a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
He's a loser. Winners are taken prisoner. Man, imagine how some of these Vietnam vets feel coming back knowing they come into a society that says, well, you know what? Y'all lost the war. You suck. We're not going to recognize or appreciate the fact that you served and then you made the effort to even do something that the rest of us didn't do. Or you were drafted into doing something you didn't want to do, but you risked your life. Win or lose. John McCain was a prisoner of war. That don't sound too much like a winner, but he's recognized as a war hero. He's recognized and appreciated for his participation, for doing something that other people wouldn't do. So coaches and organizers of pageants and school teachers have to recognize those people that make an effort or that participate in whatever they're trying to organize, whether it's an event, whether it's an organization. You have to, look, everybody can't be the chief. Everybody can't be the MVP. But you can be a lineman. Somebody needs to be the enforcer. Somebody might need to snatch some rebounds up the backboard. Or somebody might just need to be an assistant. So, we have to recognize those that make an effort to contribute. There's key words that we're using. We're not trying to reward people that just want to be there for privilege or be there just for entitlement. We're not trying to recognize those that are, like I said it earlier and Dawn said it, those that want to be disruptive and be a hindrance to the team. Those that want to go against the coach, and he's a good coach. Or we don't want to reward those coaches that plays this man's son at quarterback because he's the biggest athletic booster. We don't want to praise a coach that does that. Don't put the best people on the field that earn that way, should deserve that spot. Whatever it is, and even in life, even in the military. There's so many different things that if people didn't participate in it, it wouldn't succeed. If they didn't make a positive contribution or effort. So I think you always have to recognize that. Now, if you want to call it an award, to me, that's the way you want to use the English or the way you want to label it. But maybe if you just recognize the people that participate, then you probably would be a better coach, or you would have a better event, or you would have a better organization. because you're showing that without all of y'all, there will be no us.
Mm.
Without all of y'all, there will be no this or that. You get what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So, you know, I think we have to think along those lines as far as the contribution and efforts that people actually make when they try. You know, the MMA fighters, they lose. They make a lot of effort, you know what I'm saying? But they should be recognized for a close fight, or even just for being able to get in there and do what they do. I mean, you have to recognize people for the efforts that they make.
Okay. And that's good. That's good. But like I said, at the end of the day, man, it's to each his own, basically. And everybody got, and that's one of the beauties of what we do here every morning. Everybody got their own perspective, man, and everybody come from
notice I said recognize and not award, though.
Absolutely.
Recognize and award, once again, those are two different things.
Absolutely. Willa, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and Morning Glow. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sis. How do you feel about this whole conversation we're having right now? I didn't know this part of the conversation was going to go as long as it's going, but it's so much. It's so many different things tied up into this. What do you think about a participation award? Should they get that just for participation? Maybe I should change my verbiage from participation. Should a person be rewarded just for participating and not even call it a participation award? Should they be awarded just for participating? I can't even talk.
Oh, right. Yes, you can.
I can't even talk this morning.
I understand what you're trying to say, Raheem. You know, we as humans, our human nature, most of us want to be able to feel good about something that we did in a game that we plan on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so sometimes it's good to kind of, you know, pump people up. But you know what the real reward is, Raheem?
What's that?
The reward is learning in life that all the time you're not going to be a winner, and you could still feel good about participating.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real winner. Because when it doesn't overwhelm you or affect you or put you in a place where you don't want to live no more, you want to commit suicide, or you feel down or depressed. See, those are all negative things in life. All negative things in life. So the real winner is when you're able to handle those kind of things in life, because this is life. And sometimes it happens. And sometimes you don't always win. So if every time I don't win, just say, for example, I'm not that good player. I'm not. But I'm participating with the Bulls or the Celtics or whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
And we acknowledge as a team. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But attitude builder within yourself, and you're able to thrive regardless. You know, people thrive on being winners, and people get depressed on being losers. So the real winning is when you're able within yourself to put that in proper perspective, because they're just games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're games, and sometimes people make more out of it than what it really is, and that's the real winner in life. Able to deal with those things in life, address them. Be able to control your attitude. To me, those are the real winners in life. When we can get on this line and accept somebody else's opinion, and it don't take you to a place where you want to argue with them or cuss them out. Those are real winners.
Mm-hmm.
Those are real winners.
Absolutely.
So that's what's on my heart.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Cassandra, what's on your heart right now? And Toussaint coming to you next.
Yeah, you know, working with especially young kids with mental health issues, and this is why I guess I'm really I can't go with that. You know, not giving people at least participation awards. Most of our kids that were in the one particular program I was in were kids that were they were smart kids that their parents were pushing them so hard, and they felt inadequate because the parent, you know, kept pushing them, and they felt like they were doing, and this is out of these kids' mouth, they felt like they were doing the very best that they could, and they ended up having breakdowns. Now, let me tell you the groups that we had the most kids from. African children who came here from different parts of Africa, and their parents were pushing them. Indian children, whose parents, same thing, pushing them. We had more of them than any other two groups, African and the Indian children. And these kids were literally having mental breakdowns.
Wow.
Becoming schizophrenic, because they were being pushed so hard to win, straight A. You can drive somebody crazy with that. So for me, I'm taking it from a mental health position. You can do more damage. It's a participation award. That's all.
But Cassandra,
you can do more damage.
Is it a bad thing? But Cassandra, is it a bad thing? And I know that some people could go overboard with it, and fortunate that does happen. But is it a bad thing for a parent to want the best, or a coach to want the best out of the people that they're around, or that's in their circle, if you will? Is that a bad
thing? That child may be giving their best, Raheem. They're participating. They may be giving their best. Who are you to say what a person is giving from their heart? How are you in their head and their heart to know whether they're not? See, that's the dangerous part to me. You don't know whether that child is giving all that they have, but then you're going to not give them a participant just that they were there and they were active on the team. Why would you do that? You can cause more mental health damage than anything else. That's the only part I'm coming from. I'm sorry. That's just my position.
No. That's fine. And I certainly appreciate everybody, because everybody's making some very valid. And so I'm sure that when this conversation is over and somebody listens to this conversation here or later on, everybody's making great points. And so hopefully somebody gonna look at it a little, maybe they was looking at it one way, and because of a point that somebody made, rather, is agreeing, disagreeing, or whatever, somebody could grab something from this and eat the meat, spit the bone, and do better in regards to these things right here. A lot of times when I get into the conversation like this, I become the question asker. And I want to ask questions from different angles just to make sure, so I push the narrative forward. But I can tell you, I do not agree with the whole idea of the participation award, because I want to see people do their best. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not to the point where I'm going to be like you was talking about, running people, putting people in a situation whereas they want to do some harm to themselves, or they feel a certain way about it. But I still want people, I want to see people do their best. I want to see people do their absolute best and pull out the best in them. That's that. If that's a bad thing, I'm not gonna apologize, but I hate it's a bad thing, but that's just how I do it, how I deal with it. Let me go to Toussaint, then we'll go to Navy. Toussaint, what's on your heart?
There are some kids that.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
No, I'm gonna behave.
Okay.
I try to as best I can, because I'm gonna go way out there.
This way out Wednesday, brother. You know how we do.
Yeah. There are some kids that for some reason, they violent or they have a bad attitude. They cause trouble. And I remember, I think it was Coach Carter. I can't remember what the movie was, or if that was the name of the movie. But there was at least in that some other movie where they had a kid that had a bad attitude. Didn't want to practice. He'd show up late, come when he wanted to, talk any kind of way. And you send him home. But here's what you do. You go to his house to find out. Not to be nosy. Why is this kid so angry? Now he's a good player, but he got a bad attitude. He can be beneficial to the team, but when he gets to practice, if he comes to practice, even in the games, he fights. Somebody block his shot, he go to punch him. And we're full of that kind of thing going on. So the coach, instead of him, really wanting to, he sent him, he said, get out of my gym. And he goes, and he finds out that the boy mama on drugs. and his daddy ain't home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So in caring for the child, you have to do more. Sure enough, he fights, he causes problems, but you're trying to fix the situation. He's on the team. I mean, but you can't be on the team like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then you find out that he got situations at home that make him like that cause him to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we're talking about giving the participation award. I don't know why Raheem. And I don't understand why you wouldn't want to give a child participation award, because he like ice cream. I like ice cream. I like ice cream. I like ice cream. I like ice cream.
Lord.
I'm sorry. No, but right here for me. I just got to be who I am. But there are some kids that have issues.
Lord Jesus.
Can't you see him?
Tucson.
Can't you see him right here?
No, I ain't
Can't
fooling.
you see him right
Tucson, I ain't fooling with you, man.
Right here.
I ain't fooling with you, man. I'm going on. Who else I was going to go to? Navy, what's on your heart, Navy? Talk to me. Curtis, come to you next, brother.
I just, appreciating the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and the different perspectives, but I'm going to triple down on what I originally said in the beginning. How are you using this? How are you using this as a teachable moment? Because you could make or break a kid within that. And I think that when you originally said participation award, my mind went back to, like, when I was in elementary school, like I gave the example, we all got just a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if your class didn't win this particular event, you got a piece of paper. It wasn't an award, it wasn't the medal, it wasn't the trophy. That was something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, you came, you showed up. I also understand what
You there, Toya?
I'm here. They're here.
Oh, looks like they froze up.
It's just me and you.
Yep. So I guess I'm kind of getting toward the same point I think Nova's gonna head to, so I can't wait to hear the rest of what she was saying. It's the mental that it creates, in my opinion. And that's kind of the perspective I come from. We have enough of the toxic humans out there that winning is everything. Why create more?
I mean, well, ultimately, isn't that where the mentality comes from then? It comes from the toxic mentality outside, not from an hour's practice and 20 weeks of a game and not getting a piece of paper.
Well, then how do we work towards breaking a toxic cycle?
Well, the unfortunate part is it's outside of our control because it's somebody else's household. That's a part of being the American way, having the right to kind of raise your child the way you want to, even if people know that it's not the right thing to do. There's places where people allow their kids they're 9-year-old, they're 12-year-old to drink alcoholic beverages, and it's legal. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't agree with that, but
there we go.
All right, here we go, y'all. All right. Let me see. We got everybody back. Everybody back. Phone line over there. Okay, good deal. Now, let me go back to Navy. Navy, finish your thought, since we got kicked off there for a second. Finish your thought. Navy, you there? Let me go to Curtis. What's on your heart?
Oh, my bad.
Okay, go ahead, sis.
No, I mean, I don't know what was the last part that you heard, but ultimately, like I said, if we're going back to what I originally said, which was how are you using this as a teachable moment to pull from strengths that may not be what you need at that time, as far as like to win the game, as far as like athleticism, but how else are you contributing to the team? And what I had also said was, you know, as a player and as a coach, I can't even put it back in the same words that I had this right here, but at the end of the day, you can make or break a child within that moment, because you have to build. You have to build on their strengths. I mean, whenever I played ball in elementary school versus whenever I was in high school and college, it was completely different. I understood the concept of winning and losing better, but I had an awesome coach that pulled from my strengths as well, because I didn't always hit a home run every time I got up to the plate. And basketball wasn't my strongest suit. But the last part that I said was, I can understand you wanting to pull, and I appreciate that, pulling their greatness out of them. But it also, on the flip side of what Ms. Cassandra said was, you know, you have people that come in our office that's just like, I'm giving my all, I'm giving my best, and even though I'm at this certain level of success, it doesn't still seem like it's enough. So why am I still a loser? Even though it seems like I'm winning.
Okay, good. That's good. And as I said earlier, there's so many different layers tied into this thing, man. There's a lot of different layers tied into this thing, man. And so we're not gonna be able to cover in this one broadcast. We're not gonna be able to cover everything, because every situation is different. Every situation is different. How do you handle every situation? There's no cookie cutter answer. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? And that coming to you next.
Hey, what up, man?
What's going on with you, Cap? Kurt, how do you feel? How do you feel about our participation award, man? Should a person get an award, get recognized just for participating?
They could get a certificate. I wouldn't give them a trophy. You played a part, but I wouldn't give no trophy, thing like that. Didn't win nothing. You by doing that and giving these awards, giving these trophies and all, you can stand the chance of decreasing the fact that in the real world, you're not entitled to be acknowledged at all. But on account of the human condition, we acknowledge that you have played a part, but treat everybody like they won something. It does not, in my opinion, it does not aid the person in understanding what the reality is. You know what I'm saying? I think about, and I played on one of the best teams that ever come through the city of Baltimore. You understand? In 8 games, we scored a total 640. We only gave up 8 points. And when I tell you we gave up 8 points, we literally backed in the end zone and gave away a safety. And we literally, when they hiked the ball, nobody on the defense moved. And we literally let them run in the end zone. But the year prior to that, me and my 4 friends and cousins, because we were best friends before we were cousins. And we all know how to go. Uncles marry aunts, aunts marry uncles. We were at the banquet because we played for another team. And we played on a team, we went 0-8. So we were at that banquet and we saw the teams that won had got these big trophies. And it became about, man, I want that. I don't want this piece of paper. I want that.
Yeah.
Then we transferred to the other team and took them to the state title. We was actually supposed to go to Florida,
But of course, you know, in inner city Baltimore, 1985, we didn't have the funds to go. You see what I'm saying? So just getting that piece of paper when we see, when we saw people get these trophies, it affected me and my four homeboys. We came back the next year with vengeance, man, and just blew it up. Like, we just blew up the season. I had one of us actually got recruited his freshman year to Florida State. That's how intent we was and how purpose driven we was after we got those little pieces of paper that said, thank you for participating in the Old Town League. There was a little piece of paper and they gave us they did give us a trophy, but it was the trophy wasn't no taller than probably 6 inches, if that, and everybody up, you know what I mean? So I think we have to be careful in being politically correct.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Let me go to Annette. Annette, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Fantastic.
Annette, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about a person getting rewarded simply for participating? You say you love tennis, and a person was on the tennis team, never did anything, or that team never won. Should they get an award? Should they be rewarded, if you will, just for participating?
Well, absolutely. So you said that they never did anything, but guess what? They made the team. See, it's something to make a team. All right. So I'm a former college coach in golf and tennis. So it does something for productivity. And I'll tell you, you can't have anybody on my team, and nobody should have anybody on their team that does not produce something. Okay. They got to produce something. Sometimes people's presence makes the difference because they might be the cheerleader. There was always a cheerleader on the team who might not have been as savvy as, you know, player number one or player number two or player number three. But let me tell you, they kept the team together. So yes, on your question, there's something about just acknowledgement. Acknowledgement is really so important because I'll tell you, even you know, in the corporate world, it's I don't know, people judge, you know, and it's just like when we were growing up, the girls would say, "Ooh, she thinks she's cute." Well, the real issue, she was cute. She was cute. So value her that she looked good, but some people don't want to value just giving people credit. And I do believe that you should give people credit for everything they do.
Okay.
You should.
Okay.
You really
Okay. And like I say, you know, everybody have their own perspective on it. You know, nobody's wrong. That's how they feel about it. Willa, talk to me, sis. Rico, come to you next.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raheem, you know, all we got to do is just take a look at ourselves and how we feel about certain things. People are different. Everybody is not the same. And you look at, if me, by giving somebody a participation award, uplift their spirit, then that's a good thing. Because that's what we try to do, uplift each other in this world. Because this world know how to tear you down in a minute. That's what I'm looking at. Because all of
Well, let me ask you this question, Willa. Can that and I'm just asking a question. Can that give them a false sense of can they give them a false sense of entitlement though? If you just give them an award, you know, they say, huh?
It can, Raheem, but look at it like this. Let me look at it like this. I'm looking at it from a relationship standpoint.
Okay.
And a wife is trying to build her husband up. You go out there, you catch one of them little medium fishes, and she said, "Oh, baby, oh, wait, look at you. You brought fish home." Wouldn't that have been better than her saying, "Is that all you?" Oh, is that all you could do? You only caught one fish? So look at it like that, right? Look at it from that standpoint.
Okay.
If it puts a smile on somebody's face, then that little small thing that you Because what you're doing is you're building up everybody. You're building up the attitude to encourage them to do better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, Raheem? That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a piece of paper saying you participated in one of the biggest games ever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, Raheem? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it in that direction. Because if you put more on something that's not really a priority in life, then sometimes it can destroy a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at it.
Absolutely.
So even sometimes when you see that older woman and she got on a pretty dress, now come on now, she's about in her 70s. But I'm gonna say to her, girl, you look good.
Mm-hmm.
And it made her smile. That's the real winner.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It made her smile, it put a pep in her step.
Mm-hmm.
And now she can walk a little bit tougher. You know, it might have been, you know, but guess what it did? That's what's on my heart right here.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Girl, look, girl, you so look good. Look at you. God almighty. Woo! And she get that little pep in her step and do that little, oh, let me stop. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Rico?
I agree with what she's saying, man. I mean, and Leonard hit it on the head earlier too. It's about encouragement and positive reinforcement. You know, I'm glad Curtis called in and gave that example, man, because you know I had several examples that I could give pertaining to that. You know, winning state championships in baseball, and you know, being on first place teams in sports, and you know, being on last place teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not getting that team trophy that you get for first place and getting a little smaller one for second. Getting a certificate for participation, but then getting best team player, best MVP. You get what I'm saying? Get game balls for the most valuable player for the game. First chair for, you know, all these different things, but then at the same time losing.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't make me give up. You see, when you giving people positive reinforcement and encouragement, you're also teaching them to be able to get up when they fall.
Mm-hmm.
To keep on trying, keep
pushing.
Because sometimes you have that person that's not just quite as good, but in another year or so, during the off season, they transform themselves into somebody that you didn't even know that they had in them, but they had that motivation. They wanted more than to participate. They wanted to be the MVP. They wanted to be the star of the team. They wanted to be the leader. But once again, even though you have those people that do give their best effort, they might not be as strong and they might not be as fast, but they might be as focused. They might be more focused and more positive. They might make the effort that the best players don't make. So consistently, you know, you can get this good thing out of this one player that just ain't fast enough, just ain't strong enough, but he got the technique down and he following instructions.
That's good.
Maybe y'all should look at him for an example. He's not as fast as everybody else. You know, but he does do what we ask him to do.
And the prime example. And prime example to that.
So you got to recognize these people, man. I mean, you know, the thing is when they get that certificate of participation and they was the best player on their team and they was 0-6 and they lost every game by 1 point, that motivates them to at least try to say, well, you know what? I see we can win. We could do a little bit better. Let me try hard. And maybe I can get that first place trophy instead of that third place trophy, because that first place trophy is the bigger one.
Exactly.
And let you know that you were the champion or whatever. You know, and man, Willa, she hit it on the head. You know, not only not bringing home that big enough fish, but imagine not bringing home a big enough pocketbook, the big enough bank account. You say, hey, baby, look, I booked me a job today. I did this and that. Yeah, but you ain't do this. All you got? This all you got me?
Where the rest of your check at? Where the rest of your check?
You know what I'm saying?
That's
but
it.
I mean, she appreciating the fact that, you know what I'm saying, hey, I just hit I just got me a good contract. This is consistent money, you know what I'm saying? I can get another one. This is progress.
Exactly.
Positive reinforcement. You know what I'm saying?
Good deal. Stay right there. Let me keep this thing moving. Let me go to our Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, what's on your heart, sir? Mr. Hicks?
Oh, yes, sir. Wow. Yeah, I'm here. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Talk to me.
Wow. I see the ramification of, you know, I go back to when this whole kind of thing started developing. I guess it must have been in the early 80s. Was a push for equality and quotas and changing of the standards. I think that, for instance, in Newark, it's a city of boxes. A lot of boxes came out of there. A lot of martial arts came out of there, and so the streets. We had our different conflicts. It was never knives. It was never guns and pistols. People selling it with their hands. So you had a black belt. You wore a black belt. You got awarded that. But in the field, where it was tested, a system called KA, Creamer Law System, was early off-brand to MMA. We trained fighting. We didn't pull punches. We got hurt. We broke things. I guess I'm saying this here, but when a system comes around, when anybody can have a black belt, anybody can be a soldier, even if the standards are changed. Ebonics, you don't have to learn English. We created Ebonics. We don't have to meet the standards of that. We just know the SAT tests because they're biased. I think that when the standards start shifting, and that's what we're in the process of shifting with all this stuff, I think, I agree with you. I think that you should train to be excellent at what you do. You should be qualified and modified in what you do, and that when you're on the field of competition or battle, and the competition is not so much with other people, but a competition with who you were yesterday to always get better. But always with the goal in mind to win, to conquer.
Exactly.
That's just how I see it.
Good deal. Toya with a T. Cassandra coming to you next. Toya, what's on your heart, sis?
Hey, yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own opinion. That's the great thing about being different. Everybody got the right to have different opinions.
Yep.
You know, it's just me. I'm sorry. You know, I was upset when I found out Santa Claus wasn't real. I was upset about Easter Bunny. And I'm gonna be upset to know that, oh, I can't run like that in real life. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I'm just brutally honest. And that's something that I always, you know what I'm saying? The things that I discovered my father wasn't brutally honest about made me make different decisions. You know what I'm saying? And even though some of those things might have been a violation, I'm still very angry and upset that he didn't tell me the whole total honest truth about things. You know what I'm saying? And use, oh, well, you were a kid, so, you know, I didn't do this, that, and the third because I didn't think you would understand. Like, I'm really aggravated and agitated by that. So I just have a different, you know, philosophy when it comes to being honest and truthful. You know what I'm saying? And that might be a time and place for everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say if you want to do that, kindergarten, first grade, 12th grade, first grade, you know, probably up to the age of 12. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I can see that. You know what I'm saying? For being participation because you just don't know what's going on inside the home. You know what I'm saying? But when you start getting a little bit older and you start becoming on that age where you're about to be an adult and you're about to enter the real world doesn't work. Like, you just can't show up to work and just because you're there and not do a good job, you know what I'm saying, and not do the best, or, you know what I'm saying, or do as less as possible and think that you can, you know, some people do it. Some people, they get away with it, but that don't work for everybody. So if you find that not working for you in your life, then that means you need to try to take a different approach. You know what I'm saying? So I just think differently when it comes to being the best. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always going to encourage anybody that I come across to be the best, and always, you know what I'm saying? The goal is always to be for the top. It's all right to fail. It's all right to come in second or third. But the goal should always be to aim for the top. And either way you go, you need to be okay with whatever the outcome is. You know what I'm saying? If you do get beat, you need to be okay with that too. You know what I'm saying? But when you wake up on a daily basis and you set your heart on who you want to be and what you want to do, you don't let nothing stop you from that. You know what I mean? So I just got a different, you know, mindset when it comes to, like I said, games and being the best at that game and just showing an all the way around opinion on winning and losing. Badger, you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Oh, say that again.
We got kicked offline again.
Oh man.
I was passing it to you this time. I was just talking about, my mindset on how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking anything away from anyone else, but I just got a different mindset when it comes to winning and losing and being honest with the whole thing about to whoever it is, not even just kids.
Right. So, I guess for me, because of my experiences and things like that, I've been on both. I've been on the receiving side of both. Um, and then that kind of led me to a realization of how important losing is, as well as winning. And sometimes not being at the top, or
Gentleman said
Go ahead.
that
Go ahead, Annette.
when they got those certificates, they wanted a higher trophy. They were going to work a little harder.
Hey, Badger, hold on, Badger. Badger, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Hold on 1 second. It's
Okay.
the TV. The delay on the TV. It was still talking. I thought it was you still talking. And that go ahead, sis.
No, I said sometimes just that little nudge of recognition gives people an impetus to live. Remember, it's about living. It's about living. I coached a robotics team, and we won 8 trophies and went to the World Championships in California. But the gentleman who carried the battery fell sliding. But the battery was the biggest leadership role that you could have.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow.
It's about mentality. Just giving somebody something makes a difference. It really does.
Wow. I'm looking at the clock. I got about 9 minutes. My computer's acting a boo-boo this morning. It must be way out as well. But we almost at the end. But I want to go to Tucson. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
Right. I'm glad you came because I thought about something. There's somebody there's an echo that's on the military, in our military, that only carries the banner. That's all they do. They carry the flag. Their job is carry the flag. Somebody just blows the bugle. That's all they do. They're part of the military force. I don't even know if he has a weapon. But he makes sure that, and here's the thing about it. Yeah. If he, by some chance, gets wounded or killed in battle, picks up the flag, or the banner, and carries it. Should we recognize that person?
Yes.
Yes.
That's good. And so, absolutely. Go ahead, Badger. Absolutely.
I was sitting here thinking, and I had a similar scenario. Does Jesus only reward the winners? Or does he accept everyone that gives it their best?
And see, now we're tying a lot of different things into this that I don't know. I think
how is the mental any different is what I'm getting at. What are we teaching them?
That's right.
Well, what we're teaching them, I think, and this is my standpoint, the way I stood the whole time. I think we're giving them a false sense of entitlement if we're going to reward them just for showing up and not doing their best and not trying. And like you all said, y'all made a very good point earlier. Y'all said not everybody can win. Not everybody can win. Everybody cannot win. I'm not to the point where I'm thinking that everybody can win. You know, every year in the NFL, I'm using the NFL as an example, NBA, whatever sport you want to use, there's only one champion. There's a lot of different teams. There's only one champion, but everybody is putting their best foot forth and trying to win that Super Bowl trophy. Everybody's trying
right.
to
And you said something key though.
Mm-hmm.
None of us agree with rewarding people for not trying or for being lazy.
Mm-hmm.
We want to reward or recognize people for making an effort to participate, to at least try attempt. But you know, when you go back and say, "No, I don't want to reward them for being lazy, for not trying," of course, we don't want to reward them neither.
But see,
those are the ones we talking about as being disruptive.
But see, and that's true. But my point is this right here: you got to understand. When I played football all the way from Pop Warner all the way up through high school. We had every year we had somebody on the team that we do was just lazy, man. We're never getting the game. Ain't never gonna do nothing. Man. Just late, man. I almost called one, man. I almost called one of my buddies' name. But I knew that this person right here was never gonna do anything. And I could go to anybody on the team because a lot of us still in communication. People who went to high school, elementary school and stuff, we still communicate still to this day. And I could go and I could call this person's name and they'll break out and start laughing. That dude was just so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And that would be the conversation. Why should he be rewarded? He came there. He played. Only reason he played football because his dad wanted him to play football. He was a big guy, kind of lazy guy. He played football because his dad wanted him to play football. Put no effort into it, man. None. Why should he be rewarded? For what? Because he was on the team?
It didn't want a difference in his future.
He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be there.
Even though he didn't want to be there, some things it clicks. The light bulb clicks later on down the road. He did what his father wanted him to do because he wanted his father to see him as worthy. It gets deeper mentally because let me tell you, children often say when they get older, well, mom and dad, you didn't really do this, and mom and dad is thinking they did everything for the kid, but the kid is looking from a different lens. So I believe that's commendable. People may say that he might be lazy, but I'll tell you, some of the
this dude was lazy.
Foolish things confound the wise.
Mm-hmm. This dude, man, I don't want to be mean here.
Was he lazy or was it that his heart wasn't in it?
I think a little bit of both. I think it was a little bit of both because he's the kind of guy, man. He'll trip over his own feet if his feet don't move out the way. He was just there. He was a big guy. Football wasn't. Do I want to say it that way? He wasn't
coordinated.
No,
was he not coordinated and not agile enough to play?
I don't know why. I don't know what his dad saw. His dad played football. His dad played football and everything. Played always to the college level. He didn't go pro, but played to the college level. His dad evidently thought that because he was a great football player, that his son was going to be chip off the old block, if you will. He wasn't. And so, man, I can be careful. I'm about to call this dude name, but he didn't want to play football. Had no desire. He got on the team. He didn't make it go. He was a big guy. They wanted to put him on the line. They wanted to put him on the offensive line, and they figured he was a big guy. He could block. He couldn't block, Rico. He couldn't. It wasn't his thing.
But see, I'm gonna ask you this: did he quit? And did he finish the season? Did he quit? And did he always continue to play? Because if he still made the effort to come out there as lazy as he was and be disrespected and looked at that way, he still was trying to do something to make his father happy. His heart wasn't even in it. Just think about still the effort that he made to go out there knowing that he wasn't even cut out for this.
But Rico, y'all keep saying effort. The guy, he didn't do it. He was there. He was physically there, and that's all I could give him a check. I could check that off. He was there. Check. Anything else? He didn't do anything, man. Physically, he was there.
Did he practice? Did he practice, Raheem? Because
he was out there with us.
The team, did he practice?
He was out there with us, but like I said,
so
every time.
But
Cassandra, listen to me.
That shows.
But
I'm just saying.
Let me say this to you.
I'm trying to go by what you're saying.
Let me clear. Let me clear it up for you. He was there. He was on the practice field, but he's supposed to have been a guard. They was going to be, put him on the offensive line. He was going to be a guard. Every time we practiced, he was on the sideline beside the coach. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. He was on the team. He made the team. But every time we get out there, we practice, we're getting ready for the game. He was over there standing beside. Biggest he is, one of the biggest ones out there. He's standing over there beside the coach.
Maybe that's.
But that's on the coach. But that's not him. That's on the coach. How is that his fault?
Because Sandra, he didn't do it
next to the coach.
Because
if he wanted him to be on the field, he would have said, "John, go you in."
But Cassandra, the coach is not going to put him on the field if he know that he's not going to produce anything. He's wasting his time putting him out there on that field if he's not going to do anything. And so
he didn't even do. Did he even do the drills?
Yeah, he did his drills now. Yeah, he did his drills.
Okay, so you said that he didn't start, he didn't get on the playing field. He was a bench warmer. He was big, and he was on the bench, and all that size went to waste.
Yeah, basically.
But at the same time, he still practiced and did the drills and everything, even though he might not have done them to the standard of what the team would have needed for him to be a starter or what they would like for him out of his size. He was still out there participating in something he didn't even want to participate in just to make his daddy happy. So he had a whole nother objective. Forget winning or losing. Wow. He just wanted to be on the team, and he accomplished that.
Okay.
And I commend him for that, because how many times have we done things just to please other people, even when our heart wasn't in it? I think all of us may have done that one time or another throughout our life. I commend him. He should receive a participation award, let's not say award, participation paper, whatever you give him, because he was there. He was a part of the team. Only thing I keep getting, it's confusing me because you say participation. He was there. He was a part of the team. Why would you not give him a participation piece of paper? I don't. Maybe we talking about different things.
Okay, go ahead.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I was thinking about sometimes there's some behind the scene issues with people, and possibly the coach, and some of it might be favoritism, nepotism. Sometimes, somebody that is funding the team has a son that they just want him to have a uniform.
Wow.
Did you ever, and I'll shut up after I say this, did you ever know somebody that was in the choir that couldn't sing?
Wow. Toy, you want to talk to me, sis? We got to get out of here in a minute. Toy, you want to what's on your heart, sis?
Hey, it is what it is, man. I get what they're saying about participation. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Hey, that's how you feel. You know what I'm saying? And hey, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But you don't see me out here trying to coach no team. You know what I mean? Because you going to think I'm mean. Your kids might think I'm mean. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be real bad. You can't sing. Come here, baby. We got, we're going to have to work on something, baby. No, baby. I love you, baby. But we're going to have to do, me, re, fo, sala, some. No, baby, that ain't gonna work. You gonna go on what? You gonna go on American Idol? No, baby, ain't no Idol. You finna go on, because no, we not gonna do that right there. You know what I'm saying?
Can I sing a solo? Can I sing a solo?
No, please don't.
No
Please
solo for you, Bobo. Go sit down, and we gonna be back. We gonna find something else for you to do. Maybe you gonna be a builder or architect or something. But singing ain't your thing, baby. So yeah, they're gonna be mad with me because I'm gonna be too real for them. But Raheem, as usual, brother, great show, great conversation. Great aspect, and another great opportunity to see how we don't always see eye to eye on all things. So a lot of things we might see eye to eye on, and there might be some little quirky things that we don't agree with. But I hope we're not falling out because we feel differently about, you know what I'm saying, winning and losing, you know what I'm saying, and failing and succeeding, you know what I'm saying? But great show. Love y'all. Great feedback.
Hey, love you as well, sis. Absolutely.
Y'all.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I mean, kind of the same thing, to be honest. I think a lot of it has to do with my perception and the way I just see the world. Um, and I think there's enough people out there that are more self-centered and about self that doesn't really focus on what's important.
See,
Doesn't
I don't know if this. I understand what you're saying, and there are a lot of people out there, but I think, from my standpoint, from where I'm sitting, want everybody else to be their absolute best and to bring their best forward and to do their best. I don't know if that has anything to do with self-centered at all. It's because it's not for you. You know, you want them to do their best. You want to pull the best out of them and make sure that they're putting themselves in the best possible situations to win.
But is it the best based on your perception or theirs?
On winning perception.
Or what they're capable of.
Well, a lot of times, have there ever been a situation where you saw people that you know that they was capable of doing a lot more or had a lot more in them than what they're producing, and you said, man, if only that person would just focus on what they're doing and put their best forward, they will be amazing.
But Raheem, you can't say that. How do you make that assessment of what a person is capable of? You would have to be in their head, in their body, in their spirit. And nobody can do that. What is your assessment for knowing that somebody can do better?
Let me say this. A part of this, and just for this part of the conversation, I'm taking a left turn, but I have 4 daughters, and I know what their potential is and what they can do, because I've been there with them their whole life, and I know when they're not doing their best. I know when they're not putting their best foot forward, and I can look here. Now hold on. Now good and well. I can look. I say, now good and well. Come on now. What is this? And it's no. You need to do this over. You need to do this again. Because I know my daughters, and I know what they have in them. And so if I recognize that they're not doing their best, there's a standard that I have. And look at that's not the best you can do. And a lot of time I ask them, of course, are you gonna tell me that this is the best that you could do? No. Is this the best you can do? No, sir. Okay, then why didn't you do your best? No, I don't want. No, go do it again. Do it again. Go do it again. Bring it back to me. Now, am I wrong in doing that? Am I wrong in knowing who I'm dealing with? And if I'm a coach on a team, my responsibility is to know each one of my players on that team to a certain level. And if I know that this player, if I'm running, if Tucson say ran track, now if I know a player has an ability to run the 100-yard dash and 50-yard dash, whatever, in this amount of time, and they're not hitting that mark or close to that mark every time, I know they're not giving me their best, because I know where they are. In the military, what they do in the military, they say, I've never been in the military, but people tell me the stories. They say when they first go to basic, they make you do X amount of push-ups. And whatever you do when you first get there, that'll be a standard. They're gonna take you above and beyond that, but you're not gonna drop below that, because they know you could do this amount of push-ups in this amount of time. Anybody been in the military on here? Anybody in the military?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Yeah.
Tucson. Am I right in what I'm saying? Yeah. Do they do that in basic training when you first get there?
Yeah, you got to pass the test.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's requirements.
Mm-hmm.
You got to run. You got to climb. You got to do something in an amount of time with amount of so many push-ups, so many sit-ups. Yeah. You got to run 2 miles in a certain. So yeah, you got to qualify.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so,
but then there's some Raheem that just don't cut it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they find another MOS for them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. There you go.
Where they can contribute.
There you go. But go ahead, Cassandra. And that's where I was coming from right there, from that standpoint. Like I said, and dealing with my daughters, I know what they're doing and what they have in them. And I know it's a certain level, a certain standard that, I know that they can do this. And if they come to me anything short of that, I'm going, hold on now. What is this? What are you doing? Is this your best? I know the answer and you know the answer. Go ahead, Cassandra.
No, I'm done. We like you said, we all have our different ideas of what participation is. I even think, but it's okay. But I'm gonna tell you, I would never play for you on a team. I played sports. As a coach, I would not play for you. If you do the way you say, I wouldn't want to play for you.
But see, my thing is,
I'm just saying.
My only question would be this: do you want to win? Do you want? And if your answer to me is yes, you'll want to play for me because I want you to win. I want you to win. I don't want you to give me second fiddle. I don't want you to come. Now, are we gonna win every game? Absolutely not. Are we gonna beat everybody that we come? No. But the expectation should be that we can. The expectation should be that we can win, and we have all the necessary tools that we need to win. Are we gonna win them all? No, we're not. Nobody's gonna win them all. But we're not gonna walk into any event or any activity with the defeated mindset that we're going in here to lose. No, we're not gonna do that. No, never.
So
never.
Raheem,
Yes.
Raheem, if you had a team and you were a coach and then you expected, I ain't gonna even say expected, but 20 years later, these same men you coach want to show their sons that they played, what would they have from you to recognize that they participated on your team and played that sport?
Well,
what would you give them to show? What would you give them to have as a memory to show as the acknowledgement that I played on Coach Raheem's team in the 8th grade?
Yeah. Watch this now. This is where I went, so I'm gonna go way on out with this answer right here, Rico. They have them trophies. They're them victory trophies. Them number one place, place number one. We were the champions. We won it all. And this is a trophy that symbolizes it right here. And so hopefully that will be the answer to that. Can I say that? Yes.
Hey, Raheem.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Look on your LinkedIn, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This has been such a good conversation. And while I'm listening, guess what?
What's that?
On LinkedIn, I gave you a certificate of appreciation for the Morning Globe. How about that? Oops. Come on, you guys, give me credit.
Lord.
On LinkedIn. I put together a certificate, okay, for the Morning Globe. Now talk stuff, okay? Let's go.
Look at look.
Let's go.
Hey, Rico, it must be the tie, brother. It must be the tie. That's what it is, the tie. But listen, anybody have anything before we get out?
Please share that with all the teams.
I sure will.
I want you to see the certificate.
Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna take it off there. I'm gonna post it right on my Facebook so everybody be able to see it. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate the award. Mama, I got an award. No.
Wait. Today for doing nothing. No, I'm just
Mama, she didn't mean it, Mama. She didn't mean it.
Hey, for being late to his own show.
Hold on. Where we call mute button at? Where's mute button at? Oh, he about to take a turn on me. About to take a turn.
Oh God, that's funny. God.
But
love always.
Absolutely. But on the serious side, man, this has been a great conversation, man. And everybody have their own ideas about how they feel about the participation award. Should they get it? Should they not get it? It's all the individual. It's all from an individual standpoint and how you view it. Is it a good thing? It can be. Absolutely, it can be. Can it also lead them down a road of entitlement or feeling as though make them feel as though they're entitled to something just because? Yeah, I think so too. It's just so many different levels on this thing. Cassandra, I got to come back to you, Cassandra. Give us one more mic. Give us another thought, Cassandra. Give us another thought. Help us out before we get out of here.
I am not, because you will not give me a certificate for participating. So I have nothing else to say. Thank you very much.
But Cassandra, I'm trying to give you the championship. I'm trying to give you the championship. I'm trying to give you that.
About to go to another team.
Lord, see how folks do you. See how folks, when you want the best for them and you try to put them in the best situation, see how they do you. I'm just trying to help you win. That's all I'm trying to do. Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today?
If you missed today's show and would like to see the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Good deal. Before we get to the prayer, I want to go to Willa and have her to give us some thoughts on this as well. Anything else on your heart, Willa? What do you think about this?
I think we've had a wonderful show today, Raheem. I have a car full of characters in this car, and they enjoyed the show today.
Oh, good.
They really did.
Good
They
deal.
enjoy it all the time when they hear this conversation that we have. They learn something, and I just want to thank you for such a wonderful show today, Raheem.
Hey, to God be the
Great.
glory. To God be the glory. Absolutely. Now I got to do this. Hold on. Cassandra.
Yes, sir.
Is she here?
Yes,
You sure she here?
she's here.
She here.
I just heard her.
Okay, well, hold on for a minute
She's
now.
here.
Willa!
Hey, Raheem.
Willa! Are you ready?
I am ready.
Oh, good.
Ready, Raheem.
I
Let's go.
I heard somebody in the background saying, yes, she ready. Well, Willa, you know what? Let's go.
Yeah. I told you I had a car full of characters today. But we're going to go before the throne of grace this morning. We're going to go with boldness and confidence and expectation. The Bible says that blessings come without repentance. It also tells us in Psalms 91 that only with our eyes will we see the reward of the wicked. Father, we thank you so much for your word. We thank you, Lord, for allowing us to get up and see another day. Father, we just thank you and glorify you this morning, giving you the praise and the honor. Father, lining us up with your will and showing us your way, giving us knowledge, understanding, Lord, that you said it in your word. Father, we love you and honor you this morning. Touch each and every last one that's on this line and in this car. Father, we thank you, Lord. Touch their heart. Father, we believe that you died. And Father, we believe that you can do anything but fail. We love you, Lord. Touch DKM Radio Show. Keep it successful. Touch Raheem and his family and the Morning Glow. I thank you. Thank you. Amen. Amen.
Sound like Rico. It sound like Willie got the church behind her over there. Sound like she got the church behind her over there. Did you hear it?
Oh, yeah, I heard it, man. I heard it over here, too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, listen, is anybody got anything before we get out of here?
Yeah. Check out. You got to check out your certificate. I'm so glad that you said this. I am so glad that you brought this out, because had you thought that many of the adults today who are having adult temper tantrums are because they did not get an award?
Or is it because they got an award and they didn't get the award when they became grown and they felt that they was missing something, or somebody was taking something away from them?
Well, that too, even at a young age, but at an older age, the competition amongst, being employed, all these things make up who people are.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really think it's the award factor. This is going to be something. It's the award factor.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, it's the award factor.
Okay. But my thing is, I like to deal with both sides of the coin. Now, could some of this temper tantrums that people are having, could it be because of the fact that they've been given participation awards all their life, and now they got to a certain point in their life where reality steps in and they don't get anything because of they quote unquote participated or felt as though they participated and they didn't get anything, and now they're angry because hold on, I've got a participation award for this, and now you're gonna come along and not give me anything? I deserve.
Well, how about this?
I deserve
how
something.
About this? How about effort should always be recognized, but after everybody makes their best effort, whoever makes the best effort and wins at the end is the champion. They win. But effort should always be recognized.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah,
again,
I,
that's good.
I agree with that, and
But
I know that Raheem wants to take the other side, and I'll say the other side. When you're not happy, why don't you encourage yourself and give yourself an award and get happy? You know, sometimes you have to encourage yourself, and everybody has to encourage yourself and say, hey, you know, I'm good enough. And then they also have to say, Raheem, you know what? There's times where I am not good. Let me be better.
Exactly. And so, you know, there's two sides to every coin, man. I like to deal with both sides of the coin. I was the question asker today, man. I played the role of the question asker, and I think I did a good job at the question asker today. What y'all think?
I do, because you got an award for being a question asker.
Good deal. We're about to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And what time? Let me see what time. Oh, 3 hours and 1 minute. So Rico, I don't want to hear nothing about no short time. It's 3 hours and 1 minute and 52 seconds. I don't want to hear that.
Now, you know you came in a little late today, man. You know what I'm saying? You kept it a little over today because you want to justify the fact that everybody know you gonna be the first man with a 4-man football team. Ain't nobody gonna play for you.
Man, look here. I tell you, everybody that want to win, they coming on this side. If they want to win, because we got an expectation and we want to win. We got that. Watch this. We got that Pittsburgh Steelers Alabama Roll Tide attitude where we gonna win.
Oh, I ain't gonna hate on you about that because we helping y'all.
Good deal. Listen, I want to thank everybody for joining us more than that. I want to thank you for allowing DK, your media group and associates, and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:20. You're about to exit the Morning Glow, but before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Then we'll shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day, and please be blessed. Talk to you tomorrow morning. God say the same. Have a great evening. Love you, and take care of each other.